Start streaming. Streaming is a go. Well, we're waiting.
It's fucking great.
No chat yet?
That's coming.
Oh, God, it's so good. Oi, como va? Oh, man, Bronco Fett's really going to like one thing that I have this week.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, can you bring out my Dr. Pepper from the fridge? Question mark.
Okay.
The future is now, man. You can
Oh, I know.
talk to your watch and text, and it.
We can play something.
I made a friendly wager with a coworker. I told them that within the next 2 years, we're gonna have some type of video like FaceTime on the fucking Apple Watches,
Oh.
like within the next couple of years.
Oh, easily. Easily in the next couple years. It's probably just, it's all about bandwidth right now.
Yeah,
Is what it comes down to. How much bandwidth it can actually support coming in and out of it.
yeah. It's gonna happen. Hello there, Scott. Also, I am going to attempt to push the audio version out tonight.
Okay.
So, minimal editing, just intro, exit music, and obviously the Colt 45
It's a dynamite.
in the middle somewhere. But yeah, I'm going to try and push it out tonight because, you know, we got Rise of Skywalker coming up. Oh, I didn't put one thing in the notes about... And I really disagree with this.
Oh, the early release?
Well, just the fact that it's coming out the day before Rise of Skywalker.
Well,
You can bring it over.
Allegedly, there's a
Show the audience your shirt. We haven't started the recording yet, but we are streaming. Show them your shirt. Show them your shirt. My mother, my amazing mother, bought this shirt for Kristen.
Why am I not on there yet?
You are.
Because there's a delay.
Is it delay?
Oh, yeah. If you look here, you're.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So.
look here.
I was looking up there.
Yes. Understandable. We do that sometimes. But great shirt, and thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Cowboys are beating the Rams. What in the ever-loving fuck?
It was 14-7 last time I
They
looked.
just scored. That's why I took an extra minute to
God.
bring that out.
So what is it,
Bless
21-7 now? Come on, Rams. It's not like they weren't in the fucking Super Bowl a year ago.
When are you starting?
Well, we're streaming now. We should be starting the actual episode in 5-10 minutes.
If
Why?
not, it's bandwidth.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not you're...
It's really, we're just waiting on Dave. That's.
Poor Dave.
Dave's updating the notes.
Get out. It was beating the Rams, but the damn Niners are losing. Yeah. Oh, they fucking Atlanta scored. God damn it. I can't look during the show. I'm going to get too distracted. We got too much to talk about. Strap in, by the way, guys. This is going to be like a 2.5 hour episode. So, Kim, hello. Good to see you in the chat. Tevin, what's up? Who else we got in the chat? Obviously, we got Bronco Fett. He's going to love one of the things I have to show today. Tevin missed the last podcast. Well, the last...
Your test stream this morning.
Yeah, somebody else hopped into the test stream today, too, that was a fairly new person in the chat.
It's me. Julius.
Yeah.
Was there.
Yeah, so...
Oh, no, it was Julius, not Tevin. Sorry.
Yeah, Julius from somewhere overseas. Fuck, I can't remember.
From some Norwegian place.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
We'll figure this out later.
France.
Dave's just finishing up his section of the show notes, and then we'll be ready to roll. Oh, man, so much to talk about. Let me check my swag bag and see what...
No.
No? My mother should be watching live tonight. My mother-in-law should be watching live tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, because for reasons that you'll see. Stone Bleeds.
Okay.
That's Orange Jacket Man, if I'm not mistaken.
Do I?
One of his many YouTube identities.
There was something else. I had something specifically for the week. Whose toast is it?
Mine.
All right, good.
It's in
I have zero bandwidth right now for. Okay. That's it. Okay, that's good enough for me. I'm gonna put my sweatshirt back on.
Okay. The radiator's on, right?
Yeah, it is. I just.
Yeah, we can't keep this
Listen,
on, though, because of the
have-
noise. Well, the funny thing was...
I have menopause, so.
well, I was in here earlier cleaning up, which did you notice I vacuumed, by the way?
Dude, well, when you sent me the thing that says, hey, do you need all this cardboard? I'm like, oh, wow, he's cleaning up? Holy shit.
Anyway, when I was in there cleaning up, the sun was out and it was actually fairly warm. I'm like, oh God, do I even need to run the heat today? As soon as that fucking sun went down, though, holy shit, man, it got cold.
The nights on Hoth are cold.
Yes.
All right. Oh, one more. All right. I'm good.
All right. So my toast... I don't want to pour a little more. I'll pour a little more.
Was it Drill Weekend this weekend?
Drip, 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 drip. It was the weekend I was gone.
Oh, that's right.
So...
Dude, I legitimately lost an entire week. It's like... I have been going non-fucking stop. I can tell you right now that by next weekend, I'm going to be sick. Like, I'll be, like, fully engulfed in, like, the kind of flu where I can't get out of bed.
Oof.
I know it because I've been going so much. Like, I'm going just boom, 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 boom to all this shit and staying up late and doing all this shit that when the fall hits, it's going to hit me fucking hard. I know it.
Well, hopefully...
After I see Rise of Skywalker at least twice.
Right, I was going to say, hopefully you'll have some time on the 21st, because I got a bunch of tickets, but we'll get into that. All right, my toast.
Yep.
Buckle up, boys. We're in for a long one. All right.
This is another reason why Sundays are good, I think.
Would help if I started recording the audio portion.
It would indeed.
Bear with me one second.
Bears have nothing to do with it. How do I have 7 fucking text messages? What is happening right now?
Well, your family thinks that you're recording the podcast on Sunday, or Monday.
No,
They're not used to Sunday. Hello!
Hello!
Holy shit, that's loud. All right, I'll try not to yell. I'm having difficulty controlling the volume of my voice. How does our sound, by the way, guys in the chat? Good, bad, loud, soft, indifferent? Keep us updated, please.
Steve Salzbach was in Washington for the game.
Was he?
Yeah.
Is he an Eagles fan? Or is he a Washington fan?
Eagles fan.
Okay, just making sure.
But
Hello!
they were like 3
That's
rows
better.
from the end zone. I forget what they paid, but they're like, it was reasonable enough where they were like, okay, we're going to sit as close as we're ever going to sit in a professional football game. That's not a fucking preseason game.
Yeah.
And yeah, chapter 6 good in the chat.
All right.
But we're definitely going to talk about it. So if you're talking about something you want us to talk about, you should probably wait till we get through our preamble.
C.
3PO.
Give me one loud hello.
Hello!
Your sound is kind of quiet now compared to mine. Hello!
Unplug my headphone jack.
Oh, fuck. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
It shouldn't. There should be a monitor jack. And I think that's what you need for. I think you need a splitter for the monitor jack out of the soundboard.
We need. What about you need?
I think you also want to hear out of both ear cups.
Yes. No, I do. All right. Hello!
Hello!
Now it's like pegging out. Just try not to scream too loud, I guess, during the show. Whatever.
I make no guarantees,
Yeah,
Jason.
same here. Oh yeah, trust me, that's in my notes. Stonebleeds. That was probably the best line of the last 2 episodes. So, all right, we good?
Yep.
All right, 30 seconds of silence, starting. Yeah. To Dr. Enriquez.
To Dr. Enriquez.
Yeah, the doctor, he is the man who performed the surgery on my mother last week. As anybody who's been following me on social media knows, my mother had surgery last week. She was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. She's in recovery now. Things seem to be looking on the up and up, so we're staying positive. And I met the surgeon who performed on her, and super nice guy. He kind of came off as sort of like an Eastern European type person, but obviously his name sounds more Spanish, so maybe he's from Spain and I'm just terrible with recognizing where people are from.
Maybe.
Despite the fact that I've been around this fucking world multiple times over. But
Yeah, you would figure you'd get to actually pick up some nuances of people's the way they speak.
Yeah, but I've always said that I'm very uncultured, so that's that.
You uncultured swine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to All Things Star Wars, the greatest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. I am Mr. Jason Roscom. With me each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I am happy to be here.
Good, yeah. I'm happy too. I'm happy we were getting to do this, and man, am I excited. Holy shit.
He's really excited. Like, he's just so chipper right now. I am like at the tail end of basically some 500-mile fucking race, and Jason's like all full of piss and vinegar, like, oh, let's do this and get ready to go.
Yeah, that's actual.
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, so it's good. We have that balance, It's the balance in the Force.
I'm just happy I had enough time to go home and get changed into something more comfortable than a fucking suit.
I was kind of hoping that you were going to show up in a suit and then you do the whole show in a suit, but I guess not going to happen now.
Stop fueling my silent rage.
So what are we talking about this week?
There's only a handful of things to talk about.
Right.
The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
We have a catch up because you were away.
Yeah, so I've been gone for a week and a half ish.
So we got episodes 5 and 6 of The Mandalorian.
Yes, episodes 5
because they are called episodes.
Yes.
And we're also doing a little bit of Rise of Skywalker leading, because this is the last podcast that we're getting ready to do before Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Which, holy fuck! Like, we've been pissing and moaning for so long about, like, oh my god, it's never get here. Now I'm like, holy fuck, it's going to get here.
Yeah.
Like, it's
fucking crazy.
It's on top of us already.
We're recording this on Sunday night, December 15th. So Rise of Skywalker comes out in 4 days, technically. Like, I know the premiere's on the 20th, but we're all fucking seeing it on the 19th. Let's be honest here. So,
if you're not, you're wrong.
Right. Or you have a family.
Yeah. And priorities.
Yeah. But yeah, we're seeing it on Thursday, the 19th. Holy shit. But before we get too deep into that, we have some other business to take care of, right?
Right. Podbelly?
Yes,
Podbelly
Podbelly.
stuff. See, you should be pushing the Podbelly shit, because you were just at the fucking, as the guys in the booth at the back call us, the mothership.
Yeah.
If this is the mothership, then actually, no, Podbelly really doesn't, we don't host anything with them. They're just like, we're just a part of their network. We're like, hey guys, here we are. We're making your network better because we're so awesome.
Yes.
Obviously. But there's so much other good stuff on podbelly.com that you can find for all of your podcasting needs, up to and including different variety of podcasts, and also if you want to start a podcast, has some stuff in there for that too. So visit podbelly.com. And I expect Jason to expound on some Podbelly stuff.
Oh, yeah. So,
a little bit.
As you guys know, I went to California last week, mostly to be there for my mom. But I did get a little bit of free time, and I went over and I spent some time at the Podbelly Studios with my friend Brent. Guy I've known since, probably 6th grade, I think. 5th or 6th grade. But, yeah, he's one of the 3 co-hosts of the Sofa King podcast. massive podcast. These guys are fucking they exploded over their first couple of years. And Brent kind of branched off, and now he's also doing Podbelly. And he created Podbelly with another friend of his, and I got to tour the studio. Funny thing about that, too, is when I first walked through, it wasn't complete, right? The cool thing is it's actually an old recording studio. The room is from fucking Buck Owens, apparently. You know, Buck Owens is known for a country music singer, but from Bakersfield, California. Very popular there. And he had multiple different spots that he had for recording in town. And this was one of them. They don't believe he actually recorded any of his major songs in there, but it was something that he did have for a while. And it's like a recording studio. It's got like the soundproof room and then the fucking glass window and the people inside in like the fucking control room.
Wow.
You know? So it's got one of those kind of designs.
Neat.
And, you know, they did the whole Podbelly emblem on the walls
and
everything else.
From the pictures you showed and also posted on the Facebook page, excuse me, it looks super professional.
Yeah,
the logo looks great on the wall.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And Brent's friend that's doing Podbelly with him, the guy's like an art designer, so he's
perfect.
Like he does like computer art and he does like art, and yeah, he's really good. And he did the whole fucking design of that, and it looks perfect.
One may call it art.
Yes,
doesn't have to be art.
Sure, but anyway, when I first took the tour, it wasn't finished. Like he's like, yeah, we've got these two mounting brackets here. We're going to mount a monitor on the wall here. And we're going to do this over in this area. And after I went through, like the next day, he's like, fuck, we really got to get this done. He's saying to his partner. And then within 2 days of me visiting, they finished the whole fucking studio. And then he put up new pictures of the completed thing. And, I kind of take some credit for that. Because
nice.
He's like, yeah, you coming through kind of gave me the motivation to finish it.
Oh, yeah.
So, in addition to that, Brent also invited me, because I was in town when the Sofa King guys did their podcast that weekend, to record with them. So they do 3 episodes back to back to back. They do 2 of their Prime episodes and then 1 episode that's an exclusive to their patrons. So I was there for all 3 recordings, which was fucking great. The first one was George Lucas was the topic, so fucking perfect timing, right? And which is live, by the way. The second one was a topic that I suggested to Brent a while back, the killer Russell Williams from Canada, Tony Ferrari. And so we did that episode, and then we did their bonus patron episode, which was basically a half an hour of them trying to get out of me how much money it would take for me to suck Bradley Cooper's dick. So that was...
why it would be Bradley Cooper is beyond me. I have yet to listen to the Sofa King episodes. Like I said, I'll talk about it in our week, but I've been so fucking busy that I haven't really had time to do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm sure everyone seems to be entertained, so I'm looking forward to being entertained.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was weird, of course, because when you go on somebody else's show, you're kind of interrupting their flow. It's like they have their core group, their flow, and everything else. Right. So I kind of felt like the fourth wheel in that case. And I tried to chime in when I could, but it was weird because, again, they have their own rhythm and everything. Yeah. And I'm just kind of this other guy sitting over there just trying to chime in whenever.
Yeah, unless you're like, even when we have a third person, when the guys from the Galactic Caravan was in town for the 100th
the refugee
episode,
caravan.
Yeah. And when they were in, it was you kind of had to build the scenario around having the other people there, because otherwise we'll still talk to each other and those other people just like spectate.
Right.
And that's what'll happen. You have to. It's a challenge, especially when you've been doing it for so long. And those guys have been doing it for what, 3 years now?
Yeah,
longer?
Longer than this show.
Yeah.
But not as long as I've been podcasting, because Brent still credits, we even talked about this while I was down, he credits me for him even doing a podcast himself, because I started doing the Magic podcast years ago.
Right.
And he knew I was doing that, and he was asking me questions about it, and that eventually got him and his friend Brad to start up Sofa King with their...
Yeah, I remember when those guys first hit it out there. And
yeah, and man, that like... They're big. They're a really big deal right now. So I fucking love the fact that they're so successful. So good on those guys.
Yeah, man.
And I'm
Listen
glad I
to
was
the
able
Sofa
to be
King.
a part of it. Yeah. So why is Supergirl 3000 talking in our chat? What I don't
like $4.
I'm assuming that's the Bradley Cooper reference. I think we landed on about $3 million. I think that's where I drew the line. But
really,
anyway, yeah.
Okay.
too low? Like,
I feel like that's too high, to be honest.
well, they said the same thing. I'm like, no, I gotta have standards. I have to draw the line
Right.
somewhere.
There's
Like,
gonna be if there's a pile of like 500 grand next to you that you could just fucking shove into a duffel bag after you put Bradley Cooper's dick in your mouth, like you're telling me that wouldn't be enticing enough? Tax-free cash, leafy greeny cashy money. You just put in a fucking bag and stick under your fucking mattress.
all right, I'm not having this conversation again. So before we move on, I also
It's a good thing your mother and mother-in-law are
right?
watching
This
right now.
This is great. I want to give a big thank you to our patrons: Tony Ferrari, Camille Donovan, Nick Jackson, Frederick Martin, Big Lovin, Scott Rasmussen, Tactical Swede, Don Solsky, and Shotgun Mark. Thank you all for supporting this podcast. We love you. Tony, we are still going to sing the Canadian National Anthem. Just stuff's been happening, so we'll get there. And we got to prep. And my voice isn't that good right now because I'm getting over a cold, but more on that later. So I want to talk about what we're drinking today. I am drinking a little bit of Screwball, as is very popular amongst both the hosts and the listeners of the All Things Star Wars podcast. What are you drinking?
It's a shame. It's a shame we're not getting any royalties from Screwball. To be honest, I mean, I feel like we single-handedly brought it to the state of New Jersey.
I know. I should reach out to those guys and be like, "Look, we've done this for you.
Yeah, what up?
Where's the kickback? What are you drinking over there?"
So, as it turns out, I'm on a keto diet right now, just because I started pushing a little too much on the scale and was getting unhappy with it. So, I decided to do the keto thing. I know it works good. My wife had done it successfully. It looks she looks fantastic. I will never aspire to do as well as she did with this, but she's been making the meals and doing all the stuff for me. She makes like just really the food she makes is really, really good. And then she packs my lunch, so if I get hungry, I go into my lunch box instead of like snacking and stopping at Wawa and doing shit like that. Right. So it's kind of a twofold thing, controlling calorie intake a little bit and also doing the keto thing.
Sure.
So all that being said, this stuff, right, bad for keto.
He's holding the Screwball whiskey right now.
Yeah, it's like splashing around in here. It's just so delicioso, but it has all like crazy carbs in it.
Yeah.
However, bourbon whiskey does not. So bourbon whiskey is keto friendly, and this is my favorite. This is called Jefferson's Ocean, aged at sea, and it's delicioso, and I enjoy it.
So if you like whiskey,
yes,
and you're also watching your ladylike figure,
that's right.
Jefferson's Ocean aged at sea bourbon whiskey.
So the cool thing about this is the allegedly, I'm going to go ahead and take them at their word because it's expensive. But so they take the bourbon and they put it in cargo ships that are sailing through the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. So it like the barrels expand and contract with the changing of the temperatures as it's going up and passing through the Caribbean.
And that's done on purpose, just as a way of processing this fucking shit.
It's done on purpose. So you're getting more of the flavor of the barrel out than you ordinarily would because it's kind of being squeezed in through the thing.
Couldn't they just commandeer like an altitude chamber or something and just do something?
I feel like that would be more expensive, to be honest. Yeah, if you say you had a container ship and you just fucking threw them in a fucking container, all you need is the temperature to change. Like you're not exposing it to anything. So anyway, that's what they say. I'm gonna go with it.
Sure.
Because I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
All right, fair enough. I like it. So I just felt that was necessary to bring up. As you mentioned...
Yes, Dave is dieting.
As you mentioned at the top of the show, Rise of Skywalker is in 4 fucking days. Oh my God. This has been 2 years in the making. As we saw The Last Jedi 2 years ago, felt the way we felt about it. There was a lot of emotions going on after that, but it didn't take long for us to kind of get over that and start building the excitement for Rise of Skywalker. Trying to manage our expectations along the way, but...
Trying being the operative word there.
It's us, so that being what it is. And I think it's safe to say we're both pretty goddamn excited.
Yeah.
For this fucking
movie.
A,
right, man.
And one thing I wanted to bring up, tomorrow, Monday the 16th, is the world premiere where the fucking celebrities and all the, the actors in the fucking movie, they all go and see the movie at like the fucking Chinese theater or whatever the hell it is. So, that being said, my social media blackout starts tonight. Starting tonight, no Facebook, no Instagram, no fucking email, nothing.
Yeah.
I am completely out because I don't want a single bit of this fucking movie spoiled.
Did you see that there's what was it? I think it was in Germany. There were Burger King in Germany was offering free Whoppers for spoilers.
What?
Yeah.
Get the
It was
fuck
it was
out.
one of those articles that I saw coming across like the Facebook thing. Like, okay. All right.
Well, and I got a note in here too. Like, I'm not watching any new clips or anything. Like, I know some big clip just hit a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And fuck you for whoever created the YouTube video and put the fucking what happens in the video in the goddamn title. So I know it's, what is it? Ben meets the Emperor. Whatever. Haven't watched it. And I will not watch it before then. So I'm not watching any more clips, no more trailers, no more nothing. And starting tonight, when we're done with this podcast and I fucking push it out on social media, I'm out. Like, nothing. I'll check fucking football scores. I won't even check, like, political news or anything like that because I'm afraid in my fucking Google feed, something's gonna fucking pop up.
Yeah,
it's gonna
I know.
spoiler a goddamn...
Because we look at so much Star Wars shit that any like rando shit comes and shows up in there, and it could like, especially like the YouTube channel. Like just because I might be watching our podcast, and then fucking a bunch of shit comes up underneath it that's related to Star Wars, and of course it's all a bunch of fucking nonsense by idiots.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those...
Unless you watch the show and you advertise for the show and you get us views, then not idiots.
Yeah. So,
however, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, and Isaac in the chat is saying the same thing. Tomorrow is when he unplugs from the world. Good call, Isaac. And I recommend everybody do that, unless you're a Bronco Fett who just loves posting spoilers about anything and everything. So,
especially because it gets Jason fired up. This is the way.
This is the way. So that's that. Just now to recap for what we have or what I have for tickets. I don't know everything that you have.
I don't have shit.
Okay.
We don't have anything yet. Like, I know I'm seeing it with you, and then I'm seeing it with you twice.
Right.
I'm seeing it with you, obviously, on Thursday night.
Yep.
And then seeing it with you again on the 21st.
Right. So we'll break this down. I've got 4 tickets for Thursday night. So it's you, me, and Kristen for sure, and then I guess the John is also coming.
The John is coming.
Okay, so have you talked to him recently, by the way?
Not today.
Okay, just next time you talk to him, just make sure he's still good to go.
Yeah, he actually reached out to me and make sure he was.
Then perfect. And just so you know, that's at 10:45 p.m. in Marlton.
Right.
So be ready for that. It's gonna be a late night. I took leave that day, by the way.
So did I.
I'm gonna sleep in as late as I fucking can, so I'm not too tired that night.
Unfortunately, I won't be sleeping in. However, I did take leave that day and the next.
Yeah.
So.
The next tickets that I have are that following day, Friday the 20th, but that's for my family. I have 5 tickets at 8 a.m. Friday morning. So I'm gonna go from 10:45 p.m. Thursday night right into 8 a.m. on Friday morning.
Get yourself a little nap.
Yeah, Kristen and I are both going to be pretty damn tired.
Yeah,
but that's when we're going to see it with the kids, and we're seeing that in the RPX in Morristown. So
the sound theater,
yeah. And then the following day, Saturday, which is my birthday, I actually have tickets for 2 different showings, both in the Morristown RPX, and I have 3 tickets for both. One for 3:30 p.m. and one for 11 p.m.
So I guess
now you were invited to one or both of those. I don't have anybody else claiming any tickets for them.
So let me look at something real quick, because Saturday the 21st is Laurel Lodge's installation, and that starts at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So, oh fuck. It's also our more to follow.
Okay.
It'll probably be the 11 o'clock showing.
Okay, fair enough. And
So I'll probably be coming from Pennsauken to go over there.
All right. And I always went into this pretty much with the impression that I might not see both of those showings that day. I may get a refund on one of the showings.
Right.
Unless the movie's that good to where it's like, fuck it, I'll see it twice today. I don't give a shit. But it is my birthday and I can do what the fuck I want.
Exactly.
So that's the rundown for this weekend. So potentially 4 showings for me, 3 showings, or 2 showings probably for Dave. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes, and obviously we'll give the full recap of what we ended up doing on the next episode.
Absolutely.
So, Listener Scott Rasmussen, the proprietor of the Used and Abused podcast, wanted us to comment on an article. And I figured since he's one of our Patreon supporters that we kind of owed it to him to comment on this article. And it was specifically about J.J. Abrams commenting on The Last Jedi and what our opinions were. So I'm gonna read this excerpt from this article verbatim, and then we'll talk about it. Instead, Episode 8, titled The Last Jedi, was written and directed by Rian Johnson. Heroes were separated from one another, confronting personal roadblocks on individual journeys, and the actors found it just as challenging to make. The characters were very frustrated, and it felt that way, Isaac said. You felt the difficult energy of those scenes, figuring that stuff out. The Last Jedi, released in 2017, was also a success. But each time it addressed one of several cliffhangers left dangling in The Force Awakens. What would happen when Rey returned Luke Skywalker's lightsaber to him? Who were her parents? Who was the nefarious Supreme Leader Snoke? Johnson's movie seemed to say, the answers to those questions aren't as important as you think.
It's not even that. He came out directly and said that, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Fucking wanker.
Abrams praised The Last Jedi for being full of surprises and subversions and all sorts of bold choices. On the other hand, he added, it's a bit of a meta approach to the story. I don't think that people go to Star Wars to be told this doesn't matter. So this is a quote from Abrams saying he basically disagrees with Johnson saying that this stuff doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Even so, Abrams said The Last Jedi laid the groundwork for The Rise of Skywalker and a story that I needed a pendulum swing in one direction in order to swing in the other.
Everything about what Abrams said to me is like a passive-aggressive, like none of it is negative. Right. But when you read into it, it's like, okay, bold choices, I think is one of the things. What does it say? The meta approach to the story. People don't go to Star Wars to be told it doesn't matter. What did he? There was another thing that he said. It was fucking full of surprises and subversion and all sorts of bold choices.
Right.
Bold choices is like, you decided to wear a fucking hot pink leotard to your son's bar mitzvah.
Right. That's a bold choice.
That is a bold choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of like listening to what Abrams is quoted as saying in this story from a, reputable as any fucking mainstream media is anymore. Mm-hmm. From a reputable source, I really get the impression that JJ was even brought into this with a fucking hell, how the hell am I going to unfuck this?
Right.
To say that the pendulum needed to swing in one direction to get to the other is like saying, I had to, you have to smell a pile of shit to appreciate a rose.
Right.
And I mean, legitimately, like, and that's what he's saying in those words. Mm-hmm. You can interpret that as you want to. I mean, I had a conversation with somebody online, one of the people I went to high school with, and they were talking about Last Jedi, and one was saying, I'm tired of The Last Jedi being treated so shitty, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. I think a lot of people hang on to the fact that Last Jedi was just a turd.
Right.
When the reality is, it's still a good Star Wars story. There was excellent elements to that movie.
There were.
But there was a lot of stuff that when you start with something like The Last Jedi, that there's an expectation, like we were just mentioning about managing, but there's an expectation that some of these things are actually going to come to fruition or have some sort of like progress and push to the right a little bit in these stories, instead of, as J.J. Abrams put it, we don't want to be told that it doesn't matter.
Right,
exactly.
Like,
we told this part of the story just to not tell and not finish the rest of it because it didn't fit what Rian Johnson's view of what he thought the Star Wars story was.
Yeah.
He wrote what he wanted, not where he thought the story should go.
And again, like, I don't think he deserves a lot of the blame for this because he was given carte blanche to do whatever he wanted from Kathleen Kennedy. She's the one who just like, go make your own movie. JJ did this, now you just do whatever.
But
there was no overhead. Like, nobody keeping him on point. Like, hang on, we set this stuff up in the first movie. You need to kind of...
Not to turn this into a debate about Last Jedi, but I think maybe age has just softened me a little bit to even that stance, because to think that there wasn't some oversight on the story, I have a feeling that there was oversight. They were going through the storyboards and everything else, and I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy and other people involved in LucasArts had
Lucasfilm. LucasArts is no longer. I think.
Sad face. Anyway, I think I did that last week too, or last pod.
You do it pretty much every podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I like LucasArts better.
Right.
But yeah, they're sitting in a room going over the story and saying, okay, what about this, this, and this? And then Ryan Johnson has to sell it at that point. And like, okay, all right. And then, they bought what they were selling. And again, it's not the worst movie ever.
No, it's not.
It's not the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth. It is definitely about like going into it with expectations that it was completely reversed.
Yeah.
So more realistic for us is to look at what JJ is doing and saying in this article and saying that, like, look, I'm putting my best foot forward here. It states in the article that he never wanted to do he turned down the fucking Force Awakens because he thought it was too much of an undertaking.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't want to do the third one.
Well, yeah, apparently they pitched him the whole fucking trilogy from the start, too.
Yeah, and he was like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Right.
Because as he self-proclaims in here that he's not a finisher as far as the stories go. Which,
the fans of Lost know that very well.
Well, yeah. And I was not a Lost guy, so I can't comment on that at all. But I will say this. JJ is a fan.
Yeah.
Not that Ryan Johnson wasn't a fan, but Ryan Johnson had his own vision, whereas JJ, I think, sees it like he's a fan of Star Wars. He's not a fan of what JJ wants to put on screen.
Sure.
Because JJ can go into any movie and say, like, okay, this is what I want to do with this movie. And he could probably get away with it. He has the fucking street cred for that.
Right.
I don't think Ryan Johnson has that, especially not after Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think JJ can go into it and say, okay, I made The Force Awakens what it is. Very specifically, he's taking footage from Force Awakens with Carrie Fisher to use in this movie, not footage from fucking Last Jedi. So, coincidence? I think not. But as far as the article goes, it's really tough not to read into it and go, JJ was not a fan.
Yeah.
He was not a fan of having to fucking try and pull this pendulum the other direction.
Yeah, and let's be honest, JJ wants to continue working in Hollywood. So he's not going to come out in some fucking New York Times article and go, this movie was a piece of shit, fuck Ryan Johnson, fuck the people involved with this. He's not going to say that. He's going to be as diplomatic as fucking possible because he wants to continue to work. He wants to potentially work for Disney again, so he's not going to burn that fucking bridge.
And I think we have a unique, or at least my perspective on this when I first read it was, like, this is like writing what we used to do in a Form 8. You when you're evaluating aircrew members, you use words that to somebody who's just reading it from the outside go like, oh, okay, that seems like an okay assessment of somebody. When an evaluator reads it, that dude is a steaming pile of shit and doesn't deserve to wear his wings. And you can be using very innocuous words, but written in a certain way, it's going to have a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like I was reading with this. Like, this is JJ on the outside saying, like, everything he did was fine.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, he's fucking got the yoke on, fucking pulling the pendulum in the other direction because it's mired in this fucking pile of shit that he left it in.
Yeah. So, speaking of Form 8s and evaluations and all that, do we want to address somebody Diamond, I guess, us out this last week?
Oh, that was fucking hilarious.
So, we'll keep this general, but a mutual former coworker of both of ours fucking did a group text to both of us a couple days ago, and they're like, really, motherfuckers? Because Dave mentioned in episode 127 about how he could still run circles as a radio operator around all of our former coworkers, and one of our former coworkers caught wind of this, did not take too kindly to it, and sent a scathing text message, which was actually pretty funny.
I thought it was funny too.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, I would take that bet.
We would take the Pepsi challenge?
I would take the Pepsi challenge on that. I'd say we get in a jet and we fucking fly down to 636 and I will fucking out-operate anybody that's out in there.
I like it. So yeah, that was pretty funny. That was a good end to our week, I think, our work week.
You're sure as shit not going to fucking Q3 me.
Right.
Because that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will take that fucking challenge. I'm still the king, so fuck off.
So that was pretty funny. Before we move away from The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, being the last episode before the movie comes out, just a reminder, for those of you on the YouTube, if you can see right now, there is $14 on the line right now.
It looks like... Oh, okay, there's a $4. I'm like...
Because a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, right after The Last Jedi came out, Dave and I made a wager about the life or death of one Captain Phasma.
Yep.
So somehow, I think it started off with the 2 5s. And then we had a bet going on with some singles that we completely forgot what we bet. So we're just like, fuck it, we'll just add it to the Phasma.
No, I think what it was you decided to double down after you lost another bet, and
Right.
it rolled into the Phasma money.
Which I have no idea what that was. But either way, we've got $14 on the line. So one of us next week is going to be crowned with the $14 of the mixer money that we've been referring to for 2 years on the podcast. So as to whether or not Captain Phasma is in fact still alive, I say she's dead. Dave said she lives. I think it could go either way, honestly. I think it's literally a crapshoot as to whether or not she's alive. Because I could see JJ pulling a surprise and like her showing up in 1 or 2 scenes, or I could see them just not referencing her at all. And the fact that she fell into the vacuum of space with her fucking helmet broken, that, you know, as an indicator that, yeah, she's probably fucking dead.
Obviously, people in the vacuum of space live.
Yeah, we won't get into those physics because...
Cue The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, there's a big gaping hole in the ship, and you can just see like space right there. But now we're good. I'm still gonna just drag you out of the wreckage and everything. It's
Space weather.
yeah. So I think we'll have to do some sort of a ceremony, you know, where the loser.
That's going to have to come with us Thursday night.
Oh,
It has to come with us Thursday night, and then either in the atrium or whatever, maybe even in front of the sign.
one of us presents the money to the other.
Exactly.
I like it live over Instagram.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You can give
Keep
me
an
my
eye out.
$14, and I will enjoy it.
We shall see. We shall.
I'll give you $4 of those dollars to suck Bradley Cooper's dick, because according to your wife, that's about how much it would take.
Man, I can't believe she dined me out like that. So, all right, moving on. Let's roll into our weeks, shall we? Mm-hmm. So we already talked a little bit about my California appearance. If I sound a little bit weird today, a little bit different, it's because I got sick like right upon my return from California. So I had a real shitty sore throat for a couple of days, and now I'm just super congested. So I don't know if I sound any different to the listeners, but I've been battling this for a few days. Despite that, I still went to work every day this week that I was here because I'm just that goddamn dedicated, I guess.
Because you're an idiot.
Yeah. So I've been down with the sickness for the last couple of days. Already talked about my appearances on Sofa King podcast. Both of the episodes are live now. The George Lucas episode and the Russell Williams episode. So please go download those. Support the Sofa King podcast.
Every time you, like, all this Russell Williams stuff, I legitimately thought initially when you told me what episode you're going to be doing, I thought it was Russell Wilson. I'm like, wow, Jason really doesn't like Russell Wilson, but I can't see the Sofa King guy's doing a whole thing. Like, is there some sort of controversy out on the West Coast about it? And reading is fundamental, kids, honestly, because he's typed it out like 50 different times, and I still in my head go Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, but Russell Williams was basically a Canadian Air Force colonel who ended up raping and murdering a bunch of women. So
awesome.
yeah, so he was the commander of their biggest base in Canada. And
was he a natural born Canadian, or did he like...
He was actually born in England, but I think he was like a military brat.
See, that's why. Because he was born in England.
Yeah.
Raping and pillaging is what the English do. If they have a whole fucking... Ask the Irish. So, it's not Canada's fault, Tony. It's not Canada's fault. He was born in England.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yep. So, anyway, go download those episodes and, you know, maybe write a review on iTunes and say that you heard about the Sofa King podcast from the All Things Star Wars podcast, maybe?
Yeah.
So,
and you will do it.
Yes.
Scott Rasmussen has cleared it up about it was a picture of Han's hip from the Solo movie, and Jason said it wasn't Han, and he lost. That's where that $4 came from.
Yeah, because he had those thin legs, you know? It's like, those are women's legs.
Well, he skipped leg day. What are you going to do?
He's never done leg day, evidently. Anyway. Good call, by the way, Scott. God, I totally forgot about that. So,
this is why these guys need to be in the chat to keep us honest when we're fucking up our own shit.
Yep. So I did get a bunch of swag when I was visiting Podbelly and Sofa King Studios.
Nice.
First of all, you'll appreciate this. I got several bottles of
El Yucateco.
Yucateco hot sauce. So grab those.
No.
Some of their best stuff. These are the ones that Brent recommended the most.
So we got a chili habanero from El Yucateco. Mm-hmm. El Yucateco is one of the Sofa King sponsors.
Yes.
They've been there from the beginning.
And they're working on getting a sponsorship for Podbelly.
That would be fantastic.
El Yucateco as well.
Let's see. Is there any carbs in this? Let me see. Dude, I need new fucking glasses. I can't see for shit. Carb total 0.
Nice.
I love it. They got hot sauce chili habanero, Black Label Reserve.
Yeah. That shit
Also
looks good.
carbless. I love that. And then we got triple extra hot sauce, chili habanero,
Yep.
Mayan recipe. Holy shit. Sounds hot.
Yep. So,
Put in some popcorn.
we also got a whole slew of stickers. We got a Sofa King sticker,
Woo!
El Yucateco hot sauce sticker, a Sofa King Trust No One series of stickers,
Nice.
the official Sofa King podcast logo, a Podbelly sticker,
Nice.
Gary Coleman,
Gary Coleman.
another official Sofa King, another one, the world famous Sofa King, different version of Sofa King, and their Castle Times fucking picture.
A long fucking time ago.
That's an old reference to some of their original episodes of the Sofa King podcast.
Well,
Castle
Gary
Times.
Coleman's an older reference, too.
Yeah. And oh my god, so many things in their studio that they've had listeners send to them. Somebody did a full painting of Gary Coleman and sent it to them. Like a fucking oh my god, it's incredible.
I've heard,
So-
I've been an avid listener to the Sofa King guys for a while. Unfortunately, woo, nice. We got a Sofa King t-shirt here.
Yep.
Sweet. Is this mine?
I haven't decided who's getting any of this.
Oh, it's
stuff,
a medium. So you wear just mediums.
Yeah, so this is also a medium, another different Sofa King shirt. So yeah, I got a couple of shirts, got a whole bunch of
He
stickers.
gave you mediums?
Well, he knows I wear medium
Brent,
shirts.
what the fuck, dude? Come on, man.
I can give him a call. He'll probably send us something in your size.
Bitch.
Jesus Christ. So that's that. Got one thing from a thrift store this week that I think a lot of people are going to like, especially the Fets in the chat. Hopefully they're still here.
I'm taking these fucking stickers.
Well, I was thinking we should give some of those out.
You're an ass.
Whatever.
I'm taking.
Or you can take them. Whatever. I don't care. So, Kristen got me probably one of the best thrift store finds she's gotten for me so far.
Taking this. I'm listening.
All right. Well, listen to this.
Ooh. Get the fuck.
So, this is the Boba Fett blaster. What is the fucking I'm trying to think of what the blaster name is.
Oh, this one? Oh, fuck if I can remember.
Yeah, but it's not. It looks like a Nerf gun, but it's not a Nerf gun. It's just a toy blaster gun, but it looks awesome. And it's got that rapid fire, and it's got the Mandalorian symbol on the thing.
The stock?
The stock, yes.
Jesus Christ, Jason.
I'm not a gun guy. I'm sorry.
Your range discipline is terrible, too. You pointed that fucking thing right at me.
It's a toy gun.
Let me see if, no, he's got the pistol in his hand there. No, he's not brandishing.
What about this? No, he doesn't have it in that one either. Anyway, it's the gun that Boba Fett has when he's like in Jabba's palace.
This is the like a mock-up of that gun, but I can't remember the name of it. We got to fire up Battlefront.
But yeah,
look at it.
Kristen got it for $3 at Goodwill minus the military discount. So really good find. Absolutely love that gun. And fire it get it so people can see it on the screen. There you go. So you got the Mando symbol on the side. That's good shit, man.
That is good. That is a good find.
Yes. So well done, Kristen.
Yep.
Got another gift from my amazing mother-in-law, Trish. So
Oh, she's amazing now. You give her gifts.
she's always been good.
He's never said a bad thing about his mother-in-law ever. I'm just being an asshole.
Yeah, no. For as long as Kristen and I have known each other, she's always been nothing but nice to me. So you always hear like the horror stories of like bad in-laws.
Yep.
But
sometimes you win the lottery with your in-laws
Yes.
because you can get real shitty ones.
right. So I'm one of the lucky ones, and with recent happenings, and she's a big Star Wars fan, by the way, too. She loved the original trilogy. I think she was tolerant of the prequels. We haven't really talked about the sequel trilogy, but anyway. Oh, I think she really liked Rogue One too. Anyway, she's also quite handy with a needle and thread or a needle and yarn, and she made something and sent it to us this week. And
I'm intrigued.
I think you will appreciate this.
You're looking down at your crotch. Look, it's a Baby Yoda.
She made a Baby Yoda floating in a pod.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda.
So she did it in like an ornament style, but
Yeah.
it's...
Dude, this needs to be on your tree like ASAP.
Yeah, no, well, we've been waiting to reveal it on the podcast.
Floating
So
in a
show
pod,
it, show it to
Baby
the camera.
Yoda.
Show it to the camera.
Baby Yoda.
It's such a...
Baby
she did such a
Yoda.
good job with that.
The cutest thing in the world, Baby Yoda.
So, hopping onto the Baby Yoda bandwagon, and I think she can make a ton of these and sell them right now.
Oh, fuck
for
yeah,
a
she could.
shitload of money.
As many as she can make up until like April or May.
Right, until
Like-
the official merch starts coming out.
Right.
But apparently, it didn't take her that long to make this either.
Really?
And it was really well done. Like, see, when I pulled out, I didn't even have to say anything. You knew exactly what it was.
God, yeah.
The second you saw it. So, yeah, she needs to get on it and sell a bunch of these things on like Etsy or eBay or something right now. Right now, do it.
Do it.
So that was another fun thing that happened this week. Last thing I have. So I had some maintenance done on my car yesterday. My brakes were going out. Actually, my brakes have been out. It's the point
On
where...
which one? The Mazda?
Yeah, it's... have you ever gotten brakes so bad to the point where it's like you start tapping the brake and it feels just like metal grinding on metal? You can hear it. You can feel it in your car.
It's not worth telling here. However, I can surpass that by when your brake rotor is so thin that the caliper actually shoots through the pad and through the rotor, so that you cannot stop at all, and you just thank the maker that you have a fucking stick so you can actually slow down.
Yeah.
Yes. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right. So, yeah.
Back in my younger days.
My brakes got to that point, so I'm like, all right, I should probably take this in for maintenance. So I took it into the Firestone right next to the Morristown Mall.
Okay.
Over here locally, because I have a Firestone card, so I can just charge it to my Firestone account, blah, blah, blah. Go to pick it up this morning, and I'm like, you know what? I need some audio cables because I was doing some experimenting in here. So I'm like, I'll go to Best Buy real quick and just grab the audio cables. And I'm telling Kristen as she's driving me to the Firestone, I'm like, God, we're only 10 days away from Christmas. I hope it's not too packed in Best Buy. I hope I can actually, make my way through. Because this same Best Buy that's been there in Morristown, next to the Morristown Mall forever, I can remember back in the day, that place being a madhouse during Christmas time. Like, not like having to park a mile away, having to fight in, like, heavy crowds, waiting, like, an hour in line just to check out.
Yeah, awful.
So I get in there about 10:30 this morning. They opened at 9. Barely anybody in the store.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, this is the second weekend before Christmas. So this is December 15th. We only have one other weekend after this before Christmas.
Yep.
So, 10 years ago at this time, this place would have been fucking packed.
Shit, 5 years ago at this time it would have been.
I'm one
insane.
I'm one of the only people in the store. Like, there's 20 employees in there, and they're all looking at me like, ooh, customer. I get a couple audio cables, and I go and check out. Nobody in line. One register open, and I was the only person in line. I'm like, wow, how times have changed.
Yeah.
And the bullet point that I made in here is retail is dead.
Yeah, it's you can't possibly the way Amazon's turnaround is right now with stuff that you can get in 24 hours. By the time you think about it, Amazon has already put it in your cart and fucking buy one click, and it's fucking there.
Yeah.
Driving to Best Buy is more annoying than fucking going through and doing it through Amazon.
Yeah.
Or most other online retailers too, because now, like, Walmart is basically a fucking Amazon style thing where they're just storing shit in warehouses and then sending it out.
Right,
like
they kind of have to.
You could buy, like, legitimately, if you went on Walmart.com and fucking searched for a horse, it would probably show up with a fucking horse.
Yeah.
Like, that's how ridiculous it is. Like, they were like, oh yeah, if you fucking Google it, we will sell it.
Yeah.
We don't know where we'll get it from, but we'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
So, it's really, you're absolutely right. I think between Wayfair and Amazon and Macy's online, that's where I got all Kathy's Christmas gifts this year.
Yeah.
Not once that I step into the store to buy a fucking gift. And I think the only reason I would even go into Best Buy is to see if they have any Pops on clearance.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's, I think the Princess Leia pop on the speeder bike, that was a Best Buy when the guys for the 100th episode were here.
Yep. Yeah, because we had to stop into Best Buy to.
Yeah, we needed a headphone jack or we
Yeah.
needed something for a mic cable or something. And we go in there and Don Solsky was like, hey, yeah, I come in here. I come to Best Buy to check for pops. Sure as shit. They had that one there. It was like fucking $10
Yeah.
for that. I'm like, okay, cool. Otherwise, I don't want to go in Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking annoying. There's people there that are trying to make money on commission, and it's just, fuck that.
Yeah. Online, you don't have to deal with any of that. You don't
None
have
of
to
that
leave
bullshit.
your house.
Introverted people are at their best when they're online shopping.
Yeah, and it's so weird, man. It's such a stark contrast from just like you said a few years ago when places like this would be packed to the gills, just like people everywhere.
So I was having a conversation along that ilk. We were talking about there used to be a store called Best. Okay, it was a catalog store.
I remember that.
Yeah, and you'd be able to go through the catalog
We
and
had one in
like
Bakersfield.
call 1-800 blah 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 whatever, and you'd be able to order products or mail in a card to order a product, and then you'd show up at Best, and there's like very small area in the front of the building that was just basically the spot where you checked in, and then a fucking big warehouse mechanism behind you fucking bloop, pooped out a fucking toy, a big wheel or some shit like that, or a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yep, I remember that.
So, and now I think we're actually moving back towards something like that.
Yeah.
Think about the Toys R Us's that are reopening. They're reopening smaller.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to drive towards more online sale.
Yep.
And take advantage of that market because people still want that nostalgia of going to a toy store.
Sure.
We're not beyond that yet. We're just beyond, like, if you're going to go to a store to look for toys, you're also probably there to get fucking cat food.
Right.
Because you're at a Walmart.
Yeah.
Or a Target or something like that. It's just, that's the nature of how things are now. People,
And there is something to be said too about being able to walk into a store and physically see something, that you may not even know existed. Browsing. Oh, I'm just browsing, because I was looking around Best Buy today as I was being swarmed by a whole bunch of employees, and I'm just like, no, I just need this. I'm just looking around. There was a lot of cool shit that I'm like, ooh, that would be kind of cool to have, or that would be kind of neat. But again, I'm not gonna fucking buy it in that store. I'm gonna take a picture of it and then go to Amazon and be like, oh,
exactly.
there it is.
Or I'll stand there in the aisle and fucking scan it with my Amazon app and be like, okay, here it is. Like, because they can't even, like, some price match now too, and it's okay, cool. But a lot of them won't price match to online prices because online stores generally don't have any overhead, so they can't afford to go that cheap on things.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's fine, but that's also how you're eventually going to go out of business.
Yeah.
So
it is a brave new world out there, Jason.
Yep. And to finish off with my week, I just did want to mention that at the top of the show, I mentioned my mom. She's doing well. She's in the whole recovery process right now. There's still some treatments and stuff she has to go through, but she did want me to mention to all of the listeners of the podcast, thank you, because we had a lot of people showing support and whatnot, like either through Facebook, social media, or just through the chat here in the podcast. So she wanted to say thank you to everybody. It means a lot to her. So thanks everybody for your support, and thank you as well, Dave, as you've also shown
Cheers, Debbie.
support. And and that is the end of my week. So what about you, sir?
Dude, we don't have enough time to talk about how busy I've fucking been this week.
Yeah.
Like, I may have alluded to it in a previous podcast. Like, this time of year, like, for my gig is the, running a lodge is what we call it, a worshipful master, right?
I call it the Grand Wizard, but
The Grand Wizard, which has other implications that I do not want to go.
yeah.
But, in Freemasonry, there's, you have a leader. It's more like a squadron commander. Mm-hmm. So, and if you think of it along those lines, we have change of command ceremonies for all the lodges in a district. Now, there's 9 lodges in a district. We just did our 7th installation on today.
Jesus.
So there's been, if I haven't been at an installation, I've been in an installation rehearsal, and there's like all these moving parts, and it's a mandatory formation because you work with these guys closely throughout the year to deconflict calendars and try to attend each other's events and make sure everyone has success.
Yeah.
And we had a nice little text group going, and I had a good year. I had a good run. I am no longer the worshipful master. I was out. I had my outstallation on Friday, but you can imagine I had a rehearsal going into that because we have a memorial service that we have to do and all that kind of stuff, and going to work every day and just fucking just running myself ragged.
Yeah. And it's pretty much been that way all year.
It is a major commitment. It's not for the faint of heart. Honestly, you if you go into that, and you shouldn't get to that level, like, because it's a major undertaking. It's not like even running a fucking Girl Scout troop or a Boy Scout troop where you think like, oh, I've got these dozen or so kids and I got to worry about this and, get them safely back and forth to things and keep them engaged. Yeah, that's cool and all. No, you're doing it for 350 plus adults.
Yeah.
That are paying you dues. They're paying their hard-earned money to make sure that the product that is getting used throughout the year is meaningful.
Yeah.
So you have to have meaningful meetings, and you have to, provide education, and you have to entertain and make sure you have parties and keep everybody engaged and keep all these people happy. You have people that die. I had 5 brothers pass away this year, and I wore every one of those just on my chest after each one of them passing, and dealing with funeral arrangements and trying to do my best to be representative for the widows and stuff like that. And it just is like, and one of them happened to be a really good friend of mine and a friend of our families, which was, so there's a huge social aspect to it. There's, you need to be at dinners. You need to be seen doing things. I need to make a phone call. Like, I would call 385 people's phone numbers, and I'd have to script out my voice in all these calls. It was just,
wow.
It is a lot. If you take it seriously, like, hey, this is my responsibility, I'm going to fucking do it. And for nothing else, I feel like that's kind of how I am.
Oh yeah. So, I was gonna say that's you to a T.
Yeah. So it's. Saying all that, it was a good year. There's always stuff you wish you could do more of. Like, there's always something left undone that you wish, like, fuck, I wish I could have got that done. Well, I'm still involved. I'm just not in charge anymore. So the best part is, like, oh, I don't need to answer that. The boss does.
Yeah.
So I kick all that stuff up to him. Like, this stuff was kicked to me for, a little over a year. So, like I said, my final shit was on Friday. Then Saturday, I did Reach Across America on Saturday morning.
I did see the pictures from that.
Yeah, because I have all this crazy amount of free time. So, but I think those of you who follow me on Facebook, and I don't think I share anything on a podcast. I try not to cross the streams too much with my own personal shit.
Sure.
Although I probably should use the podcast more for that.
Yeah, why not?
But most of the people that are usual suspects are following me on Facebook anyway. But,
True.
I created a small organization to help put wreaths on all the veterans' graves at the Camden County Veterans Cemetery. We did 110% more than we did last year, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Got some good visibility with some of the county officials, so that was great. That was like first thing Saturday morning. Then we had our kids' Christmas party with a Santa and all that stuff, which Kathy ran. She was amazing this entire year.
Yeah.
Like running stuff for the lodge and running the parties and keeping me going. So huge props out to her. All of the potatoes. And, and then that went Saturday. Oh, fuck. What the hell else was there? Oh, I had another installation. So I did the wreaths and then the kids' party and then another installation. Woke up this morning and I slept in until 7:30.
Right.
And then got up and went to another thing, went home, got changed, and came into here. And then go to work tomorrow, then leave work, go to another installation, and then next thing I know, we'll be sitting in a theater for Rise of Skywalker. So
yeah.
It has been, my ass has been on fire for like 2 weeks. So I haven't had time to do shit.
Yeah.
Like, because I had responsibilities for stuff I had to memorize for the other night, so I couldn't like just casually listen to a podcast or something like that. I had to like be engaged and thinking about what I, making sure I wasn't going to fuck it up.
Right.
Because it's a big deal. It's a big deal getting the next guy in. So I was worried about all that shit. So much so, I didn't see the fucking Mandalorian, the recent episode of Mandalorian, until I was driving in here today to do the pod.
Which is hilarious.
Like, I was sitting at the dinner table. I'm like, oh, you know what? All right. I'm eating dinner, and I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, okay, let me see the notes, blah, blah, blah. What are we talking about? Episode, oh, fuck! I haven't watched it. So I, started watching it at the table and then finished watching it on the drive over.
Yeah.
It's just a snapshot of what my week has been like.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the bullshit that's been going on at work, too. It's just like, it is never ending.
Yeah.
She got ice?
Yes. You were looking a little dry over there. So.
Sweet. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Ooh, that splashed.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to
Might need a paper towel, too.
Clean up on aisle 4. So anyway, yeah, done at that. I want to say thank you to everybody did go on my page and donate to Reese Across America. That whole effort is really just me selfishly wanting to give something back to recognize the veterans that have passed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm using the Reese Across America program as a method to do that because there's very little overhead. All I got to do is advertise for it.
Yeah.
You, the listeners, and the people that wish to participate you do all the muscle movement. You buy the wreaths, and then I'll put them on there. I'll lay them down. So yeah, if you're at all interested in that, you can always reach out to me through the podcast. And I think right now until January 15th, it's wet. It'll be fine. Well, thank you.
He just smeared it all over the place. It was...
This thing's like a sponge.
it is not like a sponge. Thank you.
No problem.
Why you gotta throw this at me?
Where else am I gonna put it?
I'm helping you. Helping you clean up your fucking mess over there.
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, thanks anyway for Reese Across America. So, guarantee wherever you're listening from in the United States, there is somewhere near you. If you go to reachacrossamerica.org and put in your zip code, there's a cemetery near you that could use your support. If you want to help my cause, then you can do that. Go ahead.
So, sidebar, but it's kind of related. Last night, I took my son Robert. His birthday was 2 weeks ago, but we didn't get to do his
You went
birthday
to
dinner. We went to White Castle.
Yeah.
In Toms River. There's one White Castle here left in New Jersey, and it's in Toms River, which is over by the coast. But
Howard and Kumar's.
as we're driving back from there, we're still in Toms River. We had just left. I saw a big Mason building. It had the big fucking symbol on the side of the building. So
I know exactly where that
I
is.
wanted to ask you, if you knew of that. Because, what really stuck out was it had the G with the fucking thing.
Yeah,
and
right on the side of the building. The
Yeah,
hospital's
it was
across the
big.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on 72, right? I think that's that road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, that's when Caitlin was involved with the International Order of Rainbow for Girls, that's where she was initiated, was in that building.
Oh,
believe it or
okay.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I saw it and I'm thinking, I got to ask Dave if he knows about this one. Which
absolutely.
I'm sure he did.
So yeah, Reach Across America. I got 2 more things.
All right.
So a friend of mine, who's a Masonic brother, somebody who graduated from high school with, it's a long story. But anyway, a few weeks ago, he had a heart attack. And I'm not going to get into the details of the story, but I had heard about it, and reached out to him. I was like, oh yeah, everything's fine, whatever. So I actually saw him today. He was at the installation today. Now we're in that age bracket, right?
Are we?
I am.
Are we in that age bracket to where we're having
No.
heart attacks?
But in the same age bracket as he is.
Okay, all right.
So
I'll be 43 in a few days.
Yeah, and I'm 44. So and he's younger than me, but no real history of heart disease, whatever. But the fact that somebody at our age, it almost took him out. Like it was very fortuitous. And factually, he's from a medical background, and he was able to like, you know what, I really need to get to an emergency room.
Yeah.
Shows up at the emergency room, like, yeah, you got to go. And they prepped a fucking OR in Camden, put him in an ambulance, basically rolled him into a fucking OR to give him a stent so that he wouldn't fucking die.
At 43.
At 43.
That's fucking scary.
So, if it is scary, it really is. It's that mortality thing, right? Because I know we're in that in between generation right now, where the kids are getting older to a point, and we still. I mean, I don't know about you, body bullshit notwithstanding, and how I wake up every morning, but like mentally, I don't see myself as being an age that my parents would be, right?
Right,
You know,
no, I'm the same way.
it's like, you can't put yourself there for whatever reason. And I'm sure our parents went through the same shit or whatever. There's a whole conversation we had by that. But it's just really, really weird to think that, like, oh, fuck, homeboy could have been gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fucking disturbing.
Right, what does that mean for me? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with all my fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Better living through fucking science. But it's one of those things where, if for nothing else, it exemplifies the fact that you just have to take what you get that day, because you might not have tomorrow.
Right.
Like, we're in that age bracket, man. It's so fucking macabre to say, but it's kind of the reality. And it does. Like, talking to him today, it kind of hit me. Because I talked to him before everything started today, and I was kind of sitting there thinking about it the whole time. I'm just like, I mean, it's just crazy.
We could have a very long discussion about this.
We absolutely could, and especially with the stuff that's been going with you. I mean, my cousin who we lost to breast cancer, she was in her late 30s. You know, it's like, but I say that to say this. Just fucking enjoy it. Enjoy what you can. You know, being a crotchety curmudgeon is not going to help you live any longer. So find shit that makes you happy, like doing podcasts and Star Wars and shit like that. Not necessarily fucking football, because what the fuck?
Right. When I was first going through aircrew training, when I first became a boom operator, we were going through a lot of CRM stuff. Right, crew resource management. They went back and they were talking about accidents that happened, and I think we were just we happened to be talking about a crew that they were in like an AWACS, flock of birds right on takeoff.
Oh, Anchorage
immediately went down.
Yeah, Anchorage.
Whole crew dead, and the instructor was up there, and he's like, hey, you do the best you can. Obviously, this is why we practice these emergency procedures. And he said something that I'll never forget. He's like, but sometimes God just calls your number, and that's that.
And nothing you can fucking done.
I'm like, wow, yeah, that's...
Yeah, you think about that.
Thought.
You could have that same scenario happens to a fucking McGuire crew in a 135 that loses number 2 engine, which shells out number 1.
Yep.
But the only thing that allowed them to live was the fact that the number 1 engine kept windmilling.
Yeah.
Even though it was not producing any thrust, and it had a goddamn good pilot that fucking got him down. Otherwise, they would have been a smoking hole in the fucking ground. Mm-hmm. And it's just that, obviously, we lived a little bit more dangerously based on our jobs. But yeah, dude, you only have today. You only have Rise of Skywalker this week. And if those are the things that are making you happy, then fucking do them.
Yeah,
got to do them because otherwise. What the fuck's the point? Yeah. Why be fucking miserable? That doesn't mean like don't pay attention to all your obligations, shit like that. Because
don't go blow all your money on blow and hookers tomorrow.
Yeah, don't.
Well, that does sound fun, but just don't do it. All right, what you got there?
All right, so last thing. So we were at the Christmas party for the refueling squadron I work for now, and I met the woman who runs Slates of Love. Who is the person who made our coasters?
Yes,
right.
Yes. Who I eventually paid.
Yes, eventually. So we were talking about it. We just happened to be talking about the fucking the coasters. I'm like, yeah. And it's like, I was talking about it on a podcast. I wanted these coasters because these piece of shit fucking Ring of Thrones ones or whatever the fuck they're called.
Not the first or not the last Game of Thrones reference today, by the way. So it will come up again.
the fact that it sticks like it is sticking right now. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I didn't think this would happen, and it just annoys me that it sticks. And she's like, oh, well, if you'd done the stone ones, it wouldn't do that. I was like, yeah, probably. So during the week, Woody, our scheduler, it's his wife, and he came in and he brought me this, courtesy of Slates of Love. So thank you, Slates of Love. Go to Slates of Love on Facebook, and she does good work.
So can we get some more of those, or what's the?
I think we're going to have to pay for the next ones.
Can I?
Yeah.
Well, we paid for the last ones eventually.
Eventually. But yeah, so it'll get wet, but it's not going to stick.
No, I would hope not.
Yeah. So I'm going to enjoy my glass not sticking to from this point forward.
Glad to see you got one for yourself.
I didn't ask for it. She gave it to me because I'm a nice guy. Nothing to do with that, I'm sure. It's all about the marketing plug.
But we do appreciate it. So check them out.
Oh, we can bring that up. There's a comment in the chat that we may have to talk to. You have not watched any of the new Rick and Morty, have you?
No.
Okay.
The only episode of that show I've seen is the one you.
It's the Meeseeks one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You really need to watch more.
And I was entertained. I didn't dislike it. And I don't dislike the concept of the show itself.
It's a time thing.
It's that. Yeah.
It's a time thing. I agree.
Which is the reason why we haven't watched Clone Wars. You know.
Sorry,
Tom.
There's fucking hardly any content that I really want to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
It's because there's a lot of bullshit in there.
Right. You got to get through a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
Yeah.
An exorbitant amount of shit, if you will.
Yeah, it's like an elephant ate a diamond, and now you have to go through all of the elephant shit.
It's like an elephant ate a molecule of fucking hydrogen, and you have to dig through it to fucking find it. Because fuck that. Right. I'm not doing it.
All right. So anyway, are we ready to move on to our main topic?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
All right. No breaks required? I'm actually good right now.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right, cool. So we'll move right along to The Mandalorian. So we got episodes 5 and 6 coming out since the last time we recorded. So we're going to talk about both. Starting with episode 5, which is titled The Gunslinger. So going right back to the whole Western, whatever you want to call it. This one was directed by Dave Filoni, who you know from Clone Wars and Rebels and everything else. Why the face? Oh. So, the first question I have for you is, do you watch the recaps at the beginning of each episode?
Sometimes.
Because I know Disney Plus adds in that function where you can
just
skip it.
Yeah.
But I never skip it. Like, I always watch the recaps just because I think it's fun.
I did not have time to watch the recap on episode 6, so I skipped that and also the intro.
Which is a shame because skipping ahead, my first note in Mandalorian episode 6 is awesome recap. So if you get a chance, go back and watch the recap.
Oh, I have to. I have to sit down in front of my 60-inch and watch the whole thing. Like watching it on my fucking phone doesn't know justice at all.
Right. Yeah. So when you do, watch the recap because the way they put that one together was actually really good. It was very dramatic. So this one starts off. Episode 5 starts off with a space battle. It's Mando being chased by a guy. At first, when I watched this, I thought that was a Naboo starfighter. Like this bounty hunter guy fucking commandeered a Naboo starfighter and was using that as his main ship. It wasn't. I had to pause it several times as it's going. And yeah, no, it wasn't a starfighter. It looked like a ship we've never seen before. I didn't recognize it. I did a little bit of research coming into this and nobody knew what that ship was. Mm-hmm. So it was just a new design.
Just a random.
It looked cool though.
Just rando.
Yeah. And the pilot, had like a painted fucking helmet, kind of like... It was sort of an allusion to Top Gun. You know how Maverick and all them had the fucking painted helmets and shit?
Almost all the Rebellion helmets have all the fucking artwork on it, right? You've got Luke as an X-Wing pilot. He's got the big Rebel symbols.
Yeah.
And
it reminded me of a Rebel helmet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this guy like a former Rebel pilot? Or did he just steal the fucking Rebels thing? I don't know. Again, it was sort of a one-off thing because Mando beats him in space combat after he gets his fucking ass handed to him. have you noticed in a lot of these episodes,
He's getting the fuck kicked out of him constantly.
Yeah, I wrote that. Mando is always getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. The Mandalorian, really, the theme music should be Rocky, because Rocky was never the best technical fighter.
Right.
The only reason Rocky survived was because he could take a fucking punch.
Right.
That's the Mandalorian.
Yeah. And I've noticed that throughout the series so far, that he's constantly getting his ass kicked. But he beats this guy in battle, does some like space trickery, and he's like, oh, we got to refuel. We're losing fuel. Well, Baby Yoda, by the way. Fuel, again. But Baby Yoda is in there the whole time, doing cute Baby Yoda shit.
Baby Yoda.
And so he's like, all right, I need come in for a landing. And the dude comes over, Mos Eisley Tower, you're clear to land. And I hear Mos Eisley, I'm like, oh! So immediately we know we're going back to Tatooine. And oh my god. So all of the shots that we get from him coming over the planet, it's the same fucking view that we had at the beginning of New Hope when the ships are coming over. Yep. You got the fucking Tatooine down there, you got the moons. And
you
the
can
ship.
almost hear the when it's doing that from the cliffside look at fucking Mos Eisley.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because then as he gets closer to the ground, you see Mos Eisley down there, and he fucking lands in a docking bay. It's not 94.
No, it's 35, I think.
Right, but he lands in a docking
35.
bay. Yeah, 35.
That doesn't quite have the same roll to it.
No. But yeah, he lands. So he's dealing with this fucking maintenance lady when he lands, and she's got 3 of those pit droids from Phantom Menace. Yeah, so you recognize those. I almost wonder if it's the same 3 that were fucking, doing the whole Three Stooges bit in fucking Phantom Menace, and now they're like.
Well, considering it was CGI, I mean, and weren't physical things, we can go ahead and make that assumption, I guess. Right. I don't know.
I just mean,
they have distinctive markers.
Where
is the fucking nerd who is pausing that and then going back to fucking episode 1 and seeing if they were the same ones? Where are you, nerds?
Somebody's had to have done that.
I covet your information because I don't have the time to do it. Elsewise, I would do it myself.
Yeah. And I love, of course, as somebody who just dropped his car off at a fucking mechanic yesterday, I love when she's like going through, she's like, oh, okay, you got this, this is gonna cost you, because I took my fucking car to Firestone yesterday, and I'm just like, I need new brakes. Oh. They call me, they're like, okay, so your axle is leaking, and you need these spark plugs changed, and you need this. I'm like, I didn't ask you to look at that shit. Brakes. I need new brakes.
You get a complimentary once over where they fucking like, oh wow, the fuel filter's probably never been changed. So here it is.
Jason, and she's doing the same shit.
Jason, don't let these idiots work on your car. I'll help you. I will help you.
Well, but I didn't, get any of that stuff. I said I just need new brakes. That's all. Anyway, but she's doing the same shit to Mando the whole time. She's like, oh, and you got some carbon scoring. Yeah. She mentioned that, which is a direct quote from what Luke said. In episode 4.
Because when you get shot at, you get carbon scoring. Yeah. Apparently.
And another note that I wrote here is, why does he always leave Baby Yoda alone? What is it with him just fucking leaving him alone all the goddamn time?
It's because he doesn't have the proper backpack for him. He needs to either learn how to swaddle, or he needs a fucking one of those Gerber fucking backpacks. Remember when we were kids, they had this fucking. I distinctly remember. It wasn't. I don't remember being in it, but I know they had it from when my sister was born. Mm-hmm. There was like this aluminum frame with canvas in it, and it had this big like kick out. Yeah. And then you put the baby in it. And then you fucking try not to spill the baby over off the side as you're picking the thing up. And then you proceed to fucking watch your shoulder bleed because it's fucking digging into your skin. And it's like makes you hate people.
That happened to me at survival school when we had to build our own backpacks,
Oh, God, that's such bullshit.
I had these 2 deep rashes on my fucking shoulder blades. It was awful.
Thankfully, I was there in the dead of winter, so I had a lot of clothing on.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't as bad.
Not me. So, anyway, did you notice as he's walking the streets of Mos Eisley, it looks a lot cleaner, like as clean as, a fucking dirty town can look?
I'll tell you, man, it looked exactly the same to me. It looked exactly the same as especially the exterior scene for the fucking cantina.
Mm-hmm. It was the exact same
thing. You knew exactly what it was. Like, fuck, the angle. This is how fucking brilliant this show is. The angle of the shot is exactly the same angle as Obi-Wan and Luke. You see Obi-Wan and Luke doing with the approach to the fucking cantina.
Yep.
It's the exact same camera angle. The level of detail that they're fucking doing in this series, they spared no expense.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. And I love every second of it. And this was one of those episodes where it's like, okay, we're gonna fucking pay some fan service here.
Oh,
if we're going to
This is all about the fan
Tatooine, we're
service.
fucking doing it. And there was even scenes that reminded me of in Battlefront. You know, when we're in Docking Bay 94, as
94.
as we called it for that fucking particular screen, but going through certain areas and looking at the wide shot, and it was just so fucking good. It was just pretty to watch.
Right, and when he walks into the cantina, which, you know, we knew it was the cantina.
Yeah.
He walks in, it's very clean, like no like scummy people around. They actually allowed droids in now, because, you know, it was like the same fucking droid from Jabba's palace was like running the
torture
fucking
droid.
bar.
Yeah.
So, but like there was barely anybody in there, whereas in episode 4 it was packed. You know, but now very few people in there, but also not a lot of riffraff. So, you know, now that like there's the Bounty Hunter Guild's not there, Jabba's fucking dead, the Empire's gone, it just seems very low key.
Well, I feel like the Hutts still have a presence there because they allude to it later, and I think the Hutts are still running shit. It's just not with the New Republic. There's look, it's a great new government and everybody's happy, so you don't need as many fucking bounty hunters and shit like that and smugglers, because you're not trying to smuggle shit by the Empire. So with that, that like, I want to say NAFTA type open door policy was like, oh, look, you don't need to be illegal because we made everything legal.
Right.
It's again one of those plot points where it's like they could have really oversold it, and they didn't, but they didn't.
Right.
They gave us just enough to be like, wow, look at that shot. Oh, here's at the bar. Here's the fucking table, which is what I'm sure you're getting to next.
Yeah.
That fucking table. You knew exactly where that fucking was.
Yeah.
Where fucking douchey McDouchebag.
Yeah, Toro is the guy's
Yeah,
name.
is fucking sitting there being all cool and shit. Like,
cool at all.
Yeah, he's fucking. He had douchebag written all over him, but he's sitting in the fucking spot that Hans fucking sits in, and when he shoots Greedo in the fucking chest.
Yeah, and you recognize it immediately. Like, there was no question that was the fucking booth where they were sitting in.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then, well, go ahead.
This is a sidebar.
Sure.
More just an insertion, I guess. Is
Ooh.
yeah, not in a good way. So I'm watching Mandalorian episode 6, and Kathy and Kate are in a room, and they're making fun of me watching it, and they're making fun of like the lines and shit like that. They don't get it. Okay, so there's these schools of thought with the Mandalorian where you got people that are like, wow, this is fucking amazing. Like, it is. Even non-Star Wars fans are like, they're cool, they're into it.
Yeah.
Then you have the other group of people like, this is terrible. Or you have non-Star Wars fans who are just like, oh, well, yeah, it's not. I don't know what the fuck they're expecting, but you know what? Fuck you. Yeah. I enjoy it. I'm watching it. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't make fun of what I'm fucking enjoying.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, oh, you're watching Little House on the Prairie? Wow, you're such a nerd. Wow, Little House on the Prairie, really? Or you're watching Gunsmoke? Oh my god, that's so corny. Fuck you. Anyway.
But yeah, clearly this whole episode was fan service. Going back to Tatooine and everything else. And so Mando gets caught up with this fucking Toro guy, who him and this Pelly character, the maintenance chick, couldn't stand either of them. I thought they were both fucking annoying. They really served no purpose but to kind of keep driving the story. And this Toro guy, he asked Mandalorian to help him with this fucking bounty. This chick who's like an assassin. She's been an assassin for like the Empire and for the Hutts and all this other stuff. So you help me bring this chick in. I'll give you the money. I get the glory. Everybody wins. So
right. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. And it's out.
It's stuck.
My God.
It's stuck.
And it's they're going out beyond the Dune Sea, which was where old Obi-Wan, I wonder if he means old Obi-Wan, lived. But yeah, so they're going out in that area. Yep. And So they get out there, and there's a really funny scene where they stop and they come across fucking sand people, of course, because
Right.
you're in Tatooine, you gotta deal with the fucking Tusken Raiders. And he's looking through his fucking binoculars, and like Mando said something to the effect of, you know, they think that they're the. Hold on, I think I actually wrote it down. Fuck, I didn't. Anyway, he said something to the effect of they think they're the natural inhabitants or the natives to this planet, and everybody else are infiltrators.
Right.
And which was, I think in the research that we've done, I think we did an episode on like different species, and I think we kind of came up with that. The Tusken Raiders are the natives of Tatooine.
Yes.
Which is why they have the fucking gear on the face,
Yeah.
because that's the moisture
It's
collector and all that.
It's like a throwback to Dune. You know, they're almost like wearing still suits. Like
Yeah.
they need to wear those so that they can recapture their own moisture and shit like that.
It's for hydration.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting line. And then the guys said some smart ass remark, and Mando's like, "Well, why don't you ask him yourself?" And he looks over, and there's two of them standing right fucking there. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Yep.
And Mando, again, being the more diplomatic person, tries to communicate through sign language, because apparently Tusken Raiders know sign language. And they do some negotiating.
Listen, it's not that far fetched, right? They don't really communicate except for like grunts and shit, right? That we ever hear. Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah.
Right? But so the Mandalorian, this is it just goes to show that like classic Western, like the guy in the cowboy hat knows when to fucking like, oh, this is when you shoot people in the face, and this is when you kind of negotiate because they have the upper hand here. It's their land, it's their fucking territory.
So basically, the Tusken Raiders are the Native Americans.
Basically, yes. And even in the quote is what they're alluding to.
Right.
So, and he's like, look, dude, this is their fucking shit. Let's just fucking negotiate here. They want your binoculars. Go ahead and turn over the fucking binoculars. He's like, they were brand new. He's like, I know. And then fucking boom, then they fucking take off.
Yeah.
Really cool. Damn it. Well, I'll probably say this a couple more times, but fuck if they can't, if they are writing the Western script so perfectly with some of the Vista scenes and the music playing as and speeder bikes as opposed to fucking horses,
right,
rolling through like dun, 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 and just doing the whole thing. Just excellent cinematography.
Yeah.
Spare no expense. Because it was like what did we figure out it was like 14 million an episode, some shit like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Fucking craziness.
But
that I'm gonna have to look at something here.
yeah, they eventually get out to where that assassin girl is. They get pinned down because she's got a fucking sniper rifle, which I was watching something. Apparently, that sniper rifle she was using is based off of something that the Marines use right now.
Oh yeah,
it's like a Marine sniper rifle, so that was kind of cool. They get pinned down. They come up with this fucking plan to where they're basically going to shoot off flares as they're like rapidly approaching her at night.
Yeah, like she's using some sort of night vision, so the idea is to blind that person so they can't get a clean shot off.
Mm-hmm. And then we get a pretty cool fight scene where first Toro gets there before Mando. They fight, then Mando shows up. They capture the girl, but one of the bikes has been shot up, so now Mando has to go get a fucking dewback as part of their transport.
Well, that's the thing too. So it's like this kid the whole time has been like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not a fucking tool. And
which
so,
he is
obviously,
yeah.
And the Mandalorian's like, hey, I'll watch her. You fucking go pick up that dewback because we're gonna need to fucking something to come back in. Yep. And Homeboy's like, no, I'm gonna stay here and I'll watch her.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. So fucking Mandalorian's gone.
Yep.
Like, for some indeterminate amount of time, and she starts working him over.
Mm-hmm. Which an interesting turn was. Like I totally saw this coming where he was going to betray Mando. What I didn't see coming was, she's like, all right, and I'll help you take him down, and she like raises her cuffs and he's going like he's going to take off her fucking cuffs and then just boom, shoots her and kills her instead. So I'm like, oh, well, that was unexpected.
Right.
And yeah, so Mando gets back. She's dead. He's gone. Goes back. He's got fucking Baby Yoda and all this other stuff. Shootouts happen. Mando eventually gets one over on him. We don't have to detail the battle. It was pretty cool little confrontation. But yeah, overall, Mando comes out on top. And then we get this really highly debated scene at the end of this. And it's Mando's leaving Tatooine, Baby Yoda in hand. fucking homegirl is still dead in the desert beyond the Dune Sea. And she mentioned she had to go meet somebody, right? Earlier in the episode, she mentioned she was there to meet somebody.
Right.
Didn't say who. And then we see just a pair of boots and a cape walking towards her and kneeling down. And
Right.
then, da-doom. So
So the question is, who is that?
Right.
Now that's the big cliffhanger. Like, who the fuck is that?
I know a lot of people, in fact, before I even got to watch this episode, because I didn't watch this episode until I got back from California.
Right.
And in the fucking title of all these stupid articles on like my Google News feed is like, did Mandalorian episode 5 reveal Boba Fett? Question mark. And I'm like, come on, guys.
The answer to that question is no.
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 Most people believe that it's the guy that we haven't seen yet, the Imperial guy. We saw him in some of the Mando trailers. Black guy with the Death Troopers.
Right.
They think that that's who that was. No idea. Somebody else threw out a theory that it was that Cobb Vanth guy that we read about in the Aftermath trilogy. The guy who found Boba Fett's armor and
Right.
became the sheriff of that like Freetown or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I have a tough time believing that one.
Yeah,
to be
I don't think
honest.
they would do that kind of a crossover. Just because anybody who didn't read the books would be completely lost. They're like, well, he's wearing Boba Fett's armor, but it's not Boba Fett. I don't understand. So
Yeah, that would take a lot of extrapolation to even get there.
yeah, and they've been pretty good about not ever doing something like that, except it's like a little Easter egg just for, people like us. Overall, I thought it was a fun episode. I think without all the fan service on Tatooine, it would have just been kind of average because, like I said, the Toro character was annoying as shit. The maintenance chick was annoying. I like the assassin girl, but she was in it for all of 2 minutes before she got fucking iced. So yeah, it was just sort of okay without the Tatooine stuff.
With the Tatooine fan service, like you said. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Holy fuck. Dude, it's been a long fucking week.
Yeah.
The fan service and the not just the fan service, the fucking the cliffhanger at the end with with whoever the body was.
Yeah, which was not paid off in the next episode, by the way. We still have to wait
Nope.
at least a couple more weeks
Nope.
for that. So, you ready to roll right into the next episode, or any other thoughts on?
No,
the
I mean
fifth
there was
episode?
nothing super cosmic about that. I do think that there's something to be said for. There was a kind of a fuck. I think did I write it down in the notes? I did put. No, that's the only thing I wrote. Shit.
Oh, they did mention the planet that the show started on. It's called Navarro, which we found that out during this episode, where the guild is now and where the Mandos were. The planet was called Navarro.
Yeah. I mean, for the purposes of this episode, I think you're getting to see in classic Western style. Our protagonist has a soft side, obviously, for children,
Yep.
being a foundling himself, and has a propensity to get himself into trouble and get beat up,
Right.
which happens frequently enough. So he's Rocky.
Yeah.
He's going to get punched in the face a lot, and like we see in this next episode, he gets punched in the face a lot.
Yep.
And he's resilient.
Yeah.
And has been around the block a time or two. So, yeah, there was something else with that episode, but I can't remember it. It'll come to me later.
Yeah, they did also build on his dislike of droids in that episode when the fucking little pit droid started running up, and he's like, no droids! And that's been his thing this whole time, which we assume is because of the clone troopers killing his family back in the Clone Wars. Or not the Clone Troopers, but the battle droids.
Yeah, battle droids coming in.
Yeah.
And,
so and we see it again in episode 6, where he has more anti-droid bias, I guess.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah. And moving right into the 6th episode, he pulls into a space station, which it looks like it's kind of modeled after the space stations in the Old Republic era. But I think we've seen some other space stations that look like this in the Star Wars universe.
Looks like an upside down sorry piece.
Yeah. And he comes across this old guy, Ran. And they used to run together back in the day as part of a crew. And he's got a 5-man job he needs Mando's help with. But he really only wants a ship, which is called the Razor Crest. Did we know that before? Anyway,
I think we might have, actually.
Yeah, Mando's ship is called the Razor Crest. There was a Canto Bight reference to it in this episode where Bill Burr mentions it's like, oh, it looks like a fucking slot machine from Canto Bight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So apparently Canto Bight was a thing, 15 years prior to Last Jedi.
Yeah, I already did my gushing about Bill Burr being in something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bill Burr did pretty well.
Yeah, well, because he was a smart ass.
Yeah,
that
he was Bill Burr. It wasn't
Yeah.
trying to be something he wasn't. He was being fucking Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And he has no fucking Star Wars really moxie at all going into
Right,
this.
yeah.
He was a fucking kid that grew up in Boston following sports and getting into fights and being a
Yeah.
fucking Boston kid.
And he's got the hint of the Boston accent
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything as he's talking.
Just being a complete jerk off
Mm-hmm.
like most Boston people are.
Yep.
I'm talking to you fucking Boston people.
Yeah, his character's name is Mayfield. And he was a former Imperial sharpshooter. And this was the best line possibly in the entire series so far. And because Rand is telling Mando, it's like, yeah, he was a former Imperial sharpshooter. Mando goes, that's not saying much. And Bill Burr comes back with, I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass. So, this is a reference to stormtroopers obviously not being able to hit shit.
Yep.
And, Bill Burr being Bill Burr with his response, and also calling him a wise ass. The first time anybody, I think, has said the word ass in any Star Wars canon
Ass
ever.
is not a bad word, for fuck's sake.
I'm just saying, it's the first time in Star Wars we've heard that. We've heard hell before, maybe even heard damn, but
We know we were supposed to hear the word fuck, and they just won't give it to us.
were we?
It's PG-13.
You're allowed one fuck.
One fuck.
I am the Senate. Fuck the Senate. That's good stuff. So we're then introduced to the rest of this crew. Berg, who is the big red horny guy, who is played by Clancy Brown.
I'll bet he is.
Yeah, he's played by Clancy Brown, character actor. We've seen him in a million things. You might know him as the head guard from the Shawshank Redemption. He was also like the drill sergeant in fucking Starship Troopers. You'd know him if you saw him, but he's been in a
Without the
billion
makeup,
things.
yeah.
Zero, the droid, who looks like a fucking bug, is a really
Well,
weird
that's
droid design.
that's the to me that's the oh fuck me running.
I can tell you exactly who played him if that's true.
No. It's a droid representation of the original, like when Vader has the bounty hunters, like Zuckuss, right? Zuckuss, isn't he a bounty hunter droid? I'm looking it up. You're looking at me like I'm fucking crazy.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Zuckuss.
Oh, you talking about that insect-looking fucking bounty hunter that was in the whole cast
Yeah.
of characters in Empire Strikes Back? Yeah,
That's who I thought it was.
No, totally different.
The Googles will tell us otherwise.
We're doing it live, folks. No, two totally separate characters. I had the toy for that guy back in the day.
Listen, the toys don't fucking... I'm bringing it up on Wikipedia.
Jesus Christ.
I hate being wrong.
But in this case, he is. And he will be on Thursday also. Hold on, let me do this right. Okay, this
You can't even. What? Like, stop it.
that was strictly for the YouTube audience.
All right.
All right, are you done
Not
yet?
the same guy.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah.
Man, who'd have thought?
Similar facial structure.
Anyway, you completely broke my flow.
As I am wanting to do.
So, as we were seeing some teasers and stuff for The Mandalorian, we did see one image of a Twi'lek that, if you remember, I told you, like, that kind of looks like a dude. Like, almost like a dude in drag kind of thing. So, we're finally introduced to that Twi'lek of Xi'an, played by Natalia Tina. Now, she is from Game of Thrones. She played a character in Game of Thrones. She was also in Harry Potter. And she is also fucking ugly, man. Like, in real life, in these fucking shows, and everything she's been in, she's been
Right.
very unattractive.
Listen.
And that streak continues here
Yes.
as a Twi'lek.
Yeah, it is kind of like how some people are rendered in the Jedi game
Oh, yeah. In, Jedi Fallen Order.
and Fallen Order.
Yes. That's what she looks like in real life.
Yeah,
she just looks like
some
one of those
people are
blocks
rendered that way for a reason because that's what they look like.
Right.
Yeah, my note for this was ugly Twi'leks have ugly personalities.
Yeah.
Because there's two. Twi'lek males tend to be ugly, so
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. You know, if
They want a Wanga.
yeah, exactly. If he was the standard as opposed to the fucking our anyway, I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
But ugly Twi'leks have ugly personalities, and oh my god, I wanted him to shoot her in the face. Why? Why does the Mandalorian okay? He needs a job. He needs money, right? He's got to put gas in the tank. Fucking take Baby Yoda from one side of the galaxy to the other. Cool, I get that. Fucking rolls up, and he allows himself to fucking be browbeat by this fucking fat slob who who reminded me of fucking Louis Albano from wrestling.
Yeah.
Albano?
Lou Albano. Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of with the fucking hair, and I think he's somebody too. I recognize his face.
He's another character actor. I looked him up. He's been in a billion things, but no
major
starring performance.
Just he had a face that you recognize from other shit.
Yeah.
So him and fucking Bill Burr and his fucking motley crew of people, and they make this big deal out of how she has run with the Mando before and previously, and
they even hinted at a possible relationship there.
Yeah, I think she was making that into something because I think he was like, yeah, no, dude, I wouldn't fuck you with Bill Burr's dick.
Yeah. So, we're introduced to her. Just very unlikable characters. Even Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr. I love his stand-up, but I disliked his character, Mayfield. It was him putting his personality into this character.
That was the thing. It was more about the guy who you could tell going into this that this was going to be one of those crews that had no chemistry and had never actually done anything before at all.
Right.
Hence, Captain Lou Albano needing a fucking Mandalorian to show up.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the fucking ship. It was about needing a gun guy who was going to be able to fucking take out, I don't know, an entire fucking security droid fucking... How you doing?
Yep. So, and the whole premise of this is they're trying to break into this New Republic prison ship to release a friend of theirs who we later find out is the Twi'lek's brother, who also used to run with this crew.
It was also ugly.
Yes, very ugly. Also played by another character actor who has done a bunch of stuff that I didn't recognize. Oh, speaking of which, the Zero, the droid, he is voiced by Richard Ayoade, who is from the IT Crowd. So if anybody watches that, he's the Indian-looking guy from the IT Crowd. So take that for what it's worth. We get this whole thing as they're flying out to the New Republic prison ship where they're fucking with Mando and Baby Yoda on the ship. It's constant. The whole fucking team, they're all just fucking with Mando. He didn't do anything.
Right.
They're just all just fucking provoking
Well, it's
him.
because they're all intimidated by him. What do you do until somebody gets their ass kicked right in front of you? How about you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
I'm going to shove this up your ass sideways, motherfuckers.
Which he gets his chance later. But, they get there. They go through, and you see this kind of rogues gallery of fucking prisoners in the ship. You see one guy, it's the four-armed guy that was all the pilot in Solo, somebody from that fucking species. Yeah. You see a fucking Imperial officer, in his Imperial officer uniform.
Yep.
You see a couple other, different aliens and shit in there.
So, did you see Sloth?
So, yes, I saw the guy who kind of looks like Sloth. I mean, I don't know if that's what they were referring to.
It had to be what they're going for. I mean, for as brief as it was, I'm like, oh, fuck, they got Sloth from the Goonies. Locked up in this fucking prison.
Could be. Very well could be.
Rocky Road?
Yeah. But, so they go through. They're fighting a bunch of droids. A lot of battle scenes in this that we're not going to detail too much. But they eventually find one guy who's alive. Because they thought it was all droids, but they find one human who's actually working the control room in the ship.
Right.
Guy's name is Davin, and
who wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
He wasn't even supposed to be there today.
Yeah, and he is the person who voices Anakin in the Clone Wars. So another little Easter egg there, and this is another.
Is this the kind of shit you pick up when you actually read, not only watch the episode, but then have time to research it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's the kind of stuff
I'll have to remember that for next time.
But this is another instance where we see that the Mandalorian kind of cares about like species lives and everything. Like he's not just indiscriminately wanting to go in and just fucking kill anything that moves, except for droids.
Except for droids. Fuck droids.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not about leaving a lot of collateral damage, especially in this case. Like, and I think they kind of go about emphasizing it with saying that, like, oh, you got what you deserved. So at the end, when they're all in the prison, spoiler alert, when they're all in the prison cell, because Mandalorian doesn't kill them, he just fucking rounds them up, throws them in a cell.
Yep.
They got what they deserved. And same thing with fucking the other ugly Twi'lek. When he delivers the fucking ransom.
Yeah, but he essentially did lead to their killing, but it was...
What? He didn't do it. I mean, the rebellion could have left him alive.
That is true.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, but... Yeah, he makes it a point to try to preserve life. He doesn't want to just indiscriminately kill anybody that gets in his way. You know, he wants to try to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. And he put a lot of effort into, you know, not killing this guy, though the ugly Twi'lek eventually just fucking knifed the guy and kind of blew all of that.
Fuck these fuckers. Yeah, well, there was... Did you notice the scene? It was like a... to me, it reminded me of Reservoir Dogs when everybody's got a gun pointed at each other's faces.
Guns at each other. Yeah.
Meanwhile, that's when old girl throws the fucking knife into the dude. Like, God, just stop it, children, stop it, fucking doing this.
Which that was actually kind of cool. But.
I think that I don't know what kind of favor Favreau or whoever else had to do, like, this broad, but you could have very easily had an attractive Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't understand.
Well, and again,
why break this standard?
Maybe
is it so I don't like that character?
Right, maybe it's to match the personality because she was just a fucking pain in the ass.
I couldn't get over it. It's like it's one of those things where you're just like, this is what I expect out of this species, and then to have this, like, maybe that's why she was so fucking she was just unattractive, so she had to be a jerk off.
Right. Yeah, maybe that's it. You know, maybe
that was her defense mechanism.
Yeah, the few Twi'leks that are born unattractive, they have to do something else to stand out. So she's gonna just be a fucking assassin, bounty hunter.
Nobody's gonna fuck her. Yeah. So she's either gonna go clean the fucking the rooms in the fucking Tatooine, the back rooms, or she's gonna fucking become a bounty hunter.
Yeah. So they find her brother Quinn. Again, actor has been in a bunch of stuff that I didn't recognize, never...
Another ugly Twi'lek.
Yeah, and they betray Mando at the same time. They pull him out, kick Mando into the fucking cell, close it, and then they planned on leaving him there. Obviously, he gets out. It's actually a really cool scene, like him fucking roping the droid, pulling it over, like fucking stealing his arm to unlock the door. It was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
There was some good... The action sequence, too, where the Mandalorian takes out all those security droids.
Yeah.
It was a great sequence. Like, he pops in behind them, and there's such really good just action movements to that.
And that's something that you're just going to have to watch. Like, we can't really speak a lot to that. There was also, the one really good scene as he's pursuing the crew, because he gets out, and then he gets to the control room, and he's, like, fucking with the crew.
You're right.
There's one really cool scene where I think it was Bill Burr's character.
Yeah.
Where the lights are kind of strobing, and every time the lights strobe, he gets closer and closer because he's sneaking up behind him.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
That was a really cool shot. Speaking of Bill Burr, too, something I wanted to mention. That fucking gun, that extra gun that popped up, the backpack is kind of shooting around the corner and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's such nonsense, but it just makes it that much cooler.
Sure.
Like, I got 3 guns now because I got one that's, coming. I got the Quaid gun that's coming out of my bodice somewhere.
Yeah. So eventually, like you said, he rounds everybody up, throws them all in the cell.
Yes, that was a Total Recall reference, by the way.
Which I got that actually.
I know you did. I don't know if everyone else did.
Yeah. He puts all those people in a cell, which we find out at the end of the episode. But he takes the brother, and he's like, the job was for me to find you, so he takes him back. I think the brother kind of had to talk him into it. But yeah, he takes him back to fucking Rand.
I think that's what he was going to do anyway. He just had to, like... It's that standing there menacingly, like, when you're standing there and have that lack of emotion on your face, it's just like the Clint Eastwood with the cigar just kind of hanging out of his face, just staring you down. Like, yeah, anything you say right now, like, I'm not intimidated. Mm-hmm. And then since what you're saying isn't intimidating me, now suddenly you're becoming less like, all right, I'm more prone to fucking just going ahead and doing whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting from the Mandalorian. Again, with the helmet on, shocking how he can fucking be. Even they alluded to it earlier with when old girl says like, or no, it was homeboys like, what does that look? Is that appreciation? It looks like appreciation.
Yeah.
Right? So much emoting from the guy wearing the fucking helmet, doing brilliantly, and fuck all you that can't understand that like there's acting going on, even though you're not fucking showing your face.
Yep.
Fuck you if you can't. If you can't get there, you should not be watching moving pictures.
Yep.
Listen to the radio.
It's called body language. So, yeah, he goes back to Rand, brings the brother. They have their little motion. He gets paid. He gets out, and then
the little paid. Great. Never mind. Go ahead. I love the little bag of like ching. You know, you just hear a little thing. It just kind of
it goes back to the westerns.
Yep.
You know, just a little bag of coins he fucking throws to him, and good shit.
It's a Louis C.K. skit that's out there where it's like he talks about that and like in olden days, like I wish it was back to the days where we just had money. Like you go in, and it's like I want a horse, I want to get laid, I want to get a bath, and I want a room for a week and oats for my horse, and here you go, ping. And like 1 coin pays for all that shit,
right?
And it's like in the West, that's like okay, money was whatever it is. Like okay, here's a bunch of pieces of gold or silver or whatever. The federal currency had not yet been backed by imaginary numbers,
right?
Allegedly.
We'll ask David Schmuck how he feels about that. But anyway,
we thought he killed everyone but the Twi'lek. No. Everyone lived. Everyone lived. Spoiler alert, everyone lives. They're in a cell.
Yeah, watch it to the end. I guess we should.
They're all in the same fucking cell, too. Like, it's the goddamn, all of a sudden it's, oh, fuck. What the hell's in that movie? Oh, no, it's not going to be funny because I took too long. Shit, they're all in, Breakfast Club.
Oh. I got that right.
It would have been funnier if I had not fucked it up.
Yeah.
God damn it.
As Mando's flying away, they're like, haha, now we'll shoot him down. We'll kill him. Just as they
with a gunship? Like some remote controlled gunship, I guess? Like,
which the whole concept is stupid.
Yeah.
But right at that moment, the brother finds the fucking homing beacon, the New Republic homing beacon in his pocket. He's like,
what is this?
Yeah. Just as we
Captain Lou Albano knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, and then we see 3 X-Wings come out of hyperspace. Now, since you didn't get to do any research, do you know who the 3 X-Wing pilots were?
Mm-mm.
Did you know who one of them was? You should have recognized one of them.
Jason, I looked on a screen this big.
Well, the first...
And I was driving.
The first one, if you'd watched it on the TV...
Porkins?
No, you would have recognized as Dave Filoni as one of them.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
The second one, the other guy was Rick Famuyiwa. He's the guy who wrote and directed that episode.
Nice.
And then the other one was Deborah Chow, who
directed
the 3rd episode and
the next one. She? Isn't she?
She did the 3rd episode and she's doing the 7th.
Okay.
And she is the sole creator of the Kenobi series that's going to come out in a year and a half.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Because you have an action director doing that.
Yeah. So those 3 were the 3 X-Wing pilots.
A little hard.
Yeah, and they shot
my
up,
nipples.
They shot up the fucking space station, killing Rand and the brother.
And they're so laissez-faire about it too. Like they pop out of hyperspace. Classic X-Wings too. Like the sounds.
I wrote that too. Classic X-Wing with the 4 engines.
Yep, classic X-Wings. And those of us who know things about starships know that they were classic X-Wings. Mm-hmm. And they came out of hyperspace, and they were like, fuck. It's like they're out on patrol. We're like, all right, I guess we're tracking this fucking beacon down.
Yep.
And they fucking pull up. I'm like, yep, think it's a beacon. It looks like they're getting ready to try and launch a gunship. Yeah, no, they're not. Pachoo! Gotcha.
Kind of makes me think of back in the days during like Northern Watch, when every once in a while, like a fucking Iraqi gunner would like target a U.S. airship, and they're like, "Oh no, you ain't living to see tomorrow." And they would like destroy it. And...
Like the Scud site that launched on us when we were out there. Oh, you weren't there, but launched when we were out there, and you're like, goddamn well, it's like, yeah, that's targeted. The fucking AWACS is like, circle that, get those light and long, and F-16 fucking goes by there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it made me think of something like that.
Yeah, totally.
And then the last scene, like we alluded to, cuts to the 4 crew members still 3. No, 4, because the droid was in there too, right?
No, I think it was just...
No, he killed the droid.
It was
in the
just the
ship.
humans.
Okay, so it was the 3. It was Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Horny
Fuck those
red
droids. He
guy,
ain't letting a
and the
droid
twin.
live.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, he shot it up. Oh yeah, because that was a funny scene when because
Yoda's all like this.
Yeah, Baby Yoda's like he's like I'm gonna use some force powers, and fucking Mando comes up from behind and shoots him, and he kind of like looks at his hand like, oh, did I do that? Yeah, so that was a pretty funny scene. But yeah, and that was it. That was episode 6. Pretty good episode. I think reviews that I've been reading online very positive. A lot of people liked it. Kind of a different direction, but sort of like a crew heist kind of episode with some betrayal.
Somebody in the beginning in the pod had in the chat had mentioned if we were going to talk about the fact that they were doing a heist episode so soon after Rick and Morty had done their anti-heist episode. You know, you see the memes for it right now. You see, like, you'll see Morty will be standing there like, son of a bitch. They'll do this. It'll be like, son of a bitch. I'm in. Right? So if you look for all these fucking memes, it's it. It's like the Ocean's 11 style.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bam, 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 and like he fucking rolls up on somebody. Like, Rick, you son of a bitch. I'm in. Yeah. And so... yeah, it was the anti-heist episode of fucking Rick and Morty, and Mandalorian has a fucking heist episode.
Yeah. It's a coincidence, obviously.
Obviously. Look, I thought out of that episode, I think right now it's one of my favorite ones.
Did the Niners fucking lose?
I don't know.
Ah.
Well, Jason's looking that up so that he fucking... There's 5 seconds left, and they're in the lead. So I don't know what he's... Unless the internet hasn't caught up to something.
Not what I have. I have 29-22 with 0 seconds left.
29-22?
Julio Jones, go ahead, 5-yard touchdown with 2 seconds remaining.
With 5 seconds left, I have the... whatever. Look, it doesn't matter at this point. You're going to make the playoffs. You just need to fucking stay healthy. Keep Garoppolo from fucking getting hurting himself, and you'll be fine. Anyway, back to fucking Star Wars stuff.
Sorry. Damn it, Scott.
Jesus, Jason. Anyway, yeah. I really enjoyed this episode. Yeah. I like the action sequences with them in the prison ship, especially with the Mandalorian taking out certain things. You know, coming up behind Bill Burr and taking him out, you know, because he was obviously fucking skittish. The fucking the big dude, the muscle, aka whoever that was you were mentioning before. I mean, he's supposed to be the same species, I would imagine, as the devil face that was in the cantina originally. Yeah. So same guy. So it was a little fan service there, seeing that. I really like the action stuff. The space scenes, from my limited angle of watching them on the smaller screen, I thought that was great.
Yeah, I'm glad we got some space combat.
Yeah, peeling back and forth to certain things, kind of looking at the tracking mechanisms coming in out of hyperspace and shit like that. I thought that was fucking pretty cool. Yeah. The sequence where the Zero droid or whatever was he was piloting.
Oh, and he does like steep descent and everything.
Like when Bill Burr starts messing with Baby Yoda and shit was about to go down, and just so happens that all of a sudden he's like, okay, coming out of hyperspace now, diving now, because he's a droid. He doesn't have fucking anatomically fucking like, well, you probably wouldn't feel G-forces. They shouldn't have been flying around like that anyway. I mean, unless there's some anti-grav that's happening within the cabin.
Again, we don't
regardless
physics to Star Wars.
Regardless,
it's
like
futile.
Just the fact that hey, it's a droid flying. It's like having an RPA. There's no life support. There's no fucking care in the world for the fleshies in the back that are being bounced around all over the fucking place. Yeah. So I actually thought that was pretty fucking humorous. I don't know if anybody else besides people that flew in airplanes for a living would actually understand that, but I was amused. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really good episode, and it's just it's a Western. It's just another fucking step in whatever road the Mandalorian's taking to get to whatever. We don't have the fucking cliffhanger. We don't have the like, oh my god, like this has got to lead into this and this.
Right.
they don't need to do that. We can just enjoy an episode for what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd like to see where this Baby Yoda thing is going, but it's not the driving force.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like always going on in the background, but you've got these other individual segregated storylines.
Yeah.
That
And hide and seek with Baby Yoda was just enough Baby Yoda for me in this fucking, in this episode. Something to talk about, though, I wanted to bring up when we were talking about episode 5. I finally remembered. Big Swede was talking about how the fan service in episode 5 was great with the Mos Eisley and all the other stuff, but it was, for him, and I tend to agree with him, it was almost too much. It could have very easily gotten to a point where it's like, okay, now you're really just trying to jerk us off. Do you know what I mean? It's
I don't think it quite got to that point.
It didn't, and I think that's what was good about it. But it could have very easily gone overboard.
Oh yeah,
and turned into just an absolute fucking shit show. But it was close. It was close. That's probably, it was hitting the aft limit, as it were, of where you're going to pay some fan service, cool. But let's not try and do that again. We don't need. That was great. It kind of popped up on us, and cool connecting all the things. But we don't necessarily need that in the Mandalorian. You're proving that you don't need to do shit like that.
Yeah.
And to have success and have good storylines. So It was nice to see. It was fun. But yeah, we don't need that every fucking episode.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit disappointed because the next episode, the 7th and the semi-final episode of the season, is coming out on Wednesday, the 18th. The day
both those episodes are, or just the 8th?
Just the
7th
episode.
Yeah.
It's coming out the day before Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
Which
so
I don't agree with that at
Big
all.
Swede last week was telling me about an article that stated that there were going to be some sort of tie-in, however remote, to the Rise of Skywalker. Hence why they were doing it.
Okay.
Now, let's just take that for what it is, right? Some bullshit article, whatever.
Right, because you
Blow
can't
that
trust a lot of that shit anyway.
How many people, you have a fan base right now that is watching The Mandalorian and watching it episodically that are just like, I want to see my Mandalorian episode. If you want to keep those guys satiated for the week, you want to do that before the Rise of Skywalker blows their load. Because on the Friday of the Rise of Skywalker release, they're going to lose a lot of viewership because we're going to be fucking watching Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
We're making time out of that fucking... not everybody can go at Thursday night at 10 o'clock at night. Not everybody has that flexibility to take time off from work and do that shit. So when are they going? They're going on Friday to go see the fucking movie after they're done with work or whatever. Sure. So rather than dick that up and say like, oh, well, we're not going to catch everybody on this fucking Mandalorian episode... if you put it out at the normal time, then you're kind of handcuffing yourself. So you do it early and then say, okay, boop, here's this episode. And then we get all the Rise of Skywalker out of us and then it goes back to your normally scheduled time and place.
Yeah, shows do mid-season finales. They'll do like a half a season and then they'll break for like a month before they resume.
And how well do they work? Did your Lost shit do that?
I don't think Lost did, but I think shows like The Walking Dead have done that. Game of Thrones certainly did that. Mm-hmm. So
is everyone happy with how Game of Thrones ended?
But it has nothing to do with how it ended.
I'm just asking you a question.
I was perfectly satisfied with the ending to Game of Thrones, so I don't know what all the other fucking criers on the internet think, but... But anyway, my whole point is I don't like it running up so goddamn close to Rise of Skywalker. Because here's the reality. We're not going to talk about the 7th episode of Mandalorian for probably a couple of weeks. At least. This could be like a 3-week thing from now. We talk about episodes 7 and 8 because we're going to be too much into Rise of Skywalker. For sure we're not talking about it next week. No. Because we're only talking about Rise of Skywalker next week.
True.
And, maybe the week after, maybe, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how much of an impact it has.
I think that, for me, I would rather see it before I see the Rise of Skywalker. Because I don't want to think about what's going on with The Mandalorian and why I'm trying to digest Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd rather eat my dessert before I start fucking eating Christmas dinner.
Right.
Like that way, I'm not wondering about what's going on with dessert while I'm eating Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
That's not a good analogy, but I whatever. It is. I think I would rather watch it beforehand and be like, oh, cool. We're going into Christmas. Think about going into Christmas and those nights you're not in school anymore. Like you had those half days. Now you're just fucking just dying, staring at the clock, waiting for fucking Christmas to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, now at least we have a Mandalorian episode to watch on Wednesday before we go into our Thursday night,
which is our Christmas, basically.
Yeah, it's basically our Christmas. So at least we have something to break it up. We
guess.
get to open a present, get to open a small present, but before Christmas Day, we get to open a small present beforehand, rather than like having that same small present in the middle of opening all our other presents.
I guess. And I guess technically we've still got the whole day Thursday too before that Thursday night. So
yeah, it's going to be just a day of just fucking hand wringing and fucking just trying desperately for fucking 10 o'clock to get there. Yeah. Because I won't nap. I am the worst fucking napper on the planet. I cannot. I sleep from one point of the clock to the other point, and once I get up, that's it. Mm-hmm. If I sleep at any time after that, I feel like shit. Yeah. I feel like absolute shit. And as much as I might need a nap, I'm better off closing my eyes for 5 seconds than I am taking a 30-minute nap. It's just the way Dave's mechanics work.
Right.
So, and we know how fucking proven that is.
Yeah. So, but I think that's it for this episode. Again, next week, it's all about Rise of Skywalker.
It is all about Rise of Skywalker. I had something.
Well, while you're thinking about that, if you would like to support the All Things Star Wars podcast,
howdy,
please hit us up on Patreon. Patreon.com/ATSW podcast. All the money for that goes right back into the show. If you look, with our most recent Patreon cash dump, we bought new headphones for the show. Headphones that are now going to allow us to do Skype call-ins. So our patrons are now going to be able to do Skype call-ins during the show, and we're going to be able to include them on episodes of the podcast.
And I think it'll allow us to be more involved in other podcasts too when it comes down to it. You know, within our Podbelly network, and all the podcasts are involved in that, and us being able to get in there and seamlessly transition as opposed to fucking dicking around with this. We still have some setup to do. You know, it's not as clean as it could be.
But we're getting there.
Yeah, we're definitely getting there. Jason's procurement of some solid headphones, and thanks to you, we don't have to spend our kids' Christmas money doing that.
Yep. And there's some talk right now about kind of restructuring the way we do our Patreon rewards, because I think I got a little too ambitious with some of the reward tiers, and I think I'm going to restructure it to where you're still getting something in return, but I think my original plan just doesn't seem to be working out, like the whole choose a topic a month thing. That's just...
It's hard. Well, and granted, this is a very special time of the year. Yes. This is when you have things like The Mandalorian happening, when you have Rise of Skywalker fucking coming up on the horizon. It's very, very difficult to squeeze something like that in, especially when you're only doing once a week. Yeah. Like the fact that the Sophie Gang guys doing so many episodes. Yeah. And
they do 3 episodes a week now.
God bless them, because that's.
But they get a lot of heavy support on their Patreon too.
Yeah,
like, they get a lot of support on there,
and we'll encourage that. Yeah. We encourage that out of you. Make it financially worth our while, and we'll fucking, we will be your fucking puppets at that point. Bitch. Yeah, exactly. As a case in point, your fucking snaps.
Yep. And to remind everybody, after tonight, if you try to get a hold of me on social media, you will probably not get a response. I am going dark as of tonight. Not because of football, but I should. God, I can't believe they fucking lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm avoiding all spoilers.
Yeah, it's if you need to get hold of us for some reason, contact me, honestly, because I'm disciplined enough where I won't look at a lot of shit, and I'm still the DO of the lodge at this point. So you have to I have to pay attention to what's going on and post shit and whatever else. But I'm disciplined enough not to look at spoilers. Yeah. I just need to get Big Swede to fucking not read some nonsense article out loud. Because holy fuck does that piss me off. Not the fact that he's reading it, it's the fact that there's so many fucking idiots out there that smell their own shit with some of this.
Oh, it's
like,
terrible.
God damn it. I'd like to think that we are not only intelligent beings, but we are also
reasonable.
Reasonable. we let our analysis just stick to what our feelings are and make those are our feelings, not necessarily the facts. I'd like to think that we do a good job at that, but
we certainly don't make up our own facts.
Some of the fucking people out there that post on some of this shit, they obviously have never watched the fucking movies. All it is clickbaity bullshit, and oh my god, it makes me want to fucking kill people. I just please, stupid people should not exist on this earth. Honestly, I don't need contrast theory for stupid people.
We used to have Darwin's theory to take care of most of the stupid people, but now we've got too many.
Oh, we're nerfed. Everything in this world is too nerfed up to fucking eliminate these fucking idiots.
Yeah, we've got too many pieces in place now to protect all these fucking morons.
God,
so
damn it! I wish they would all drink gasoline and fucking swallow a match. What?
Well, on that beautiful note, we are going to end the show. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited.
Dude.
Can't wait for Thursday.
The fact of the matter is, the level of excitement, we're not even matching the level of excitement that we really have. Because
we're trying to not just be like, oh my God, I can't believe it's here.
Yeah, because you know what happened to us last time we were like that.
Yes.
We were a little disappointed.
We learned our lesson.
Yes. So I am as excited as anybody. I'm really excited for tomorrow. After this next installation, where then I have a break, at least till Saturday. So, trying to catch up on the chat here before we go.
And so again, you're not going to see anything from me at least until then. Yep. But we might do like a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live as we're maybe waiting for the movie to start. Or doing something like that.
Watch for us in the usual spots, and we'll be putting out something out for. You know, what's funny, you did all those interviews. Remember when we were standing in line at Last Jedi, you did a bunch of interviews. That shit never made it to any recording.
I had some technical issues trying to pull the audio off.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Because I fucking ironically ran into somebody I knew in the line. I was like, all right, Jason, have fun.
Yeah.
Because I don't like people. If the gasoline match comment earlier didn't cue the end of that, then you're missing a lot of context clues. But I'm not a huge fan of people. And Jason went in and interviewed a bunch of people. And it was great. It was great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And it was reserved seating, so there wasn't a huge line of people, but it was a significant amount. It was in Cherry Hill. I have a feeling with the Marlton show, we're not going to see a lot of people standing around.
No, because you don't have to.
No, exactly.
We just walk in 5 minutes before the movie starts.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but we do have to talk about, like, if you guys want to, like, get a bite to eat beforehand, get together.
Yeah, we'll work out the logistics of that. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as it gets closer. But anyway, everybody out there, all the listeners, enjoy Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
And by all means, once it's over, once it's over.
Yeah, let's talk about statute of limitations on fucking spoilers here.
Because
it is a topic of conversation inside the cantina, and I know the guys with the escape pod.
Yep, I know. I think it's Big Lovin'. I think he said he's not going to be able to see it until Saturday. So I think at a minimum, any spoiler discussion needs to wait until probably Sunday night when we record. And anything that you write for the next week after the fucking movie comes out, please put a big spoiler alert in front of, like, if you start a new post, do a big spoiler alert, do a couple of blank fucking spaces, and then start fucking writing.
Be considerate to your fellow fan that wants to go into this thing clean.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking douchebag. Can you do that?
Yeah, and
I know you can. It's all good.
And we will, suspend people or kick people out of the group if we feel these rules are being broken. So
see, Jason's being the bad cop, and he will do that.
Yes, and I will do it.
I'll light everything on fire. I don't care.
Yeah.
I will light everything on fire.
So, but all that aside, enjoy Rise of Skywalker. We're all excited. It's going to be great. And the next time we record, we'll have already seen it.
I can't even believe it's here. I can't do it.
It's great. And until we meet again at the Marlton 8 movie theater, May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Okay, now what do I click?
Sound like your voice cracked a little bit on that one.
It's supposed to.
Okay. A little more than normal.
Her voice isn't really clean.
Yeah. Oh, man. Fuck, it's 8 o'clock. God damn, we did go for 2.5 hours, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fuck, Jesus.
So Kim and Scott will not see it until Saturday the 21st.
Okay, so yeah. Again.
We'll do our best. The good news is that I'm off on Thursday and Friday. We're going to see it twice together.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, I think the Saturday earlier time might be better.
Okay.
Because I can just bail out of that fucking that installation as soon as the first part of it's done. And then
is it only like an hour or so?
It depends. Honestly, it all depends on the outgoing master. Like, because I know with mine, remember how I had the big fucking binder of a speech? Like,
yeah.
I didn't do that on my way out. I just did a bunch of thank yous and I did some awards.
Mm-hmm.
I still took a fucking hour and a half. So, but
well, how close is this place to the Morristown Mall?
So it's in Laurel Lodge, which is in Stratford. So it'll probably take me about 20 minutes to get there.
Okay. Well, I'll leave that to you.
I'll get there. Let's plan on the 3:30 because the nighttime one, it's our adult Christmas party, and I'm probably going to drink.
Okay.
So chances of me making the 11 o'clock show are probably going to be slim.
All right.
I think Kathy would be upset if I did that.
Speaking of Kathy, are you taking her?
So yeah, and we have to just figure out when we want to do that.
You can bring her on the 3:30 one. I've got 3 tickets. So if you want to make that the one that you see with her,
no, we'll go on our own.
Okay,
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I've got 3 tickets, so I might be bringing Rob or somebody then.
There you go.
Unless like Big Sweet or somebody wants to go.
Well, he's out in PA. He's seeing it. I think he's taking those days off too. Because he's out by Neshaminy.
Okay, I'm just saying, we'll have 3 tickets for that show. So
yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. As I sit here right now, I'm like, I'd rather go see Star Wars again probably than try and be social at a party. But it's like that going into it, and then at the end, I always have a good time. This is how my shit works.
I had a whole bunch of other shit I could have talked about. Like, I got together with my cousin Jeff, who I've talked about on the show before.
Yeah.
He's also a big Star Wars fan. We have pictures of us when we're like 5 years old playing with Star Wars toys.
Right.
He hasn't even bought tickets to Rise of Skywalker yet. I'm like, what the fuck?
Technically, I haven't either. But
Well, yeah, but he had no plans to see it.
Oh, God.
My mom wants me to show you. Oh, my mom just texted me this. She said, show that to you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, her husband, Bob, participated in that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to say, this year I had less volunteers, mostly Masons, but I had the Department of Veterans Affairs for the county. He showed up. I had no idea who was coming, and then a representative from the American Legion showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the plan, now that I'm not worried about everything that's going on in the lodge, I'll be able to dedicate more bandwidth to just doing the Reese Across America thing and get that to a point where, honestly, I'm very selfishly, like, this is something that I want to see get done, so I'm selfishly using my resources to get it done. And I don't care how it gets done. I want to get a wreath on every single marker at the Camden County Veterans Cemetery. So
How many is that?
It's 700 something. So if I double it every time,
We shall double our efforts.
yeah, indeed. And I will be doubling my effort because I've had very little to give time wise to it this year. I did that one briefing for the freeholders, and I think American Legion's trying to rope me into doing some shit with them. So
You personally or the lodge?
me,
Oh,
no,
okay.
me personally, as a younger veteran, they're trying to get the guy. This is the commander of the American Legion post in Merchville right now. He's a Desert Storm guy, and he's one of the young guys.
Yeah.
So our generation of veteran that has been at war since
2001.
yeah. I mean, shit.
18
We were
years.
we were still doing Northern Watch and shit when we're the. What's funny is the veterans that have spanned through that many decades. Like, we're getting ready to go into 2020, and you think like we came in the mid 90s. 90s to 2000s, 2000s, 2010s, 2010s, 2020s. That's a long fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a long time to be in the Middle East. And we're still not really represented as far as like veterans go as an organization. So I don't know. I've always seen myself as trying to get in there and do shit like that. So if I can start rattling some cages and get some more visibility for it, because look, there is a lot of, when you're having conversations about PTSD and other shit like that, a lot of it has to stem from, if I put you on a ship and I sent you for fucking, you spent 3 months on a ship to go to war and you came home for, 3 months on the way home, like there was decompression time. There was time to figure out like how you personally could handle these things. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? I'm going to answer it. Hi, Kate. You're on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
What's up?
What time are you gonna be done?
I don't know. Like half hour or so? Why?
Could you take me to urgent care after Mom refuses?
Yeah, we'll talk about it when I'm on my way.
Alright, thank you.
Anyway, it's Sunday and urgent care closes, so that means
Do they?
the ER.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's just a fucking office. Anyway, just thinking about the realities of like what coming home from war now is like compared to what it was for our ancestors is so completely different. And, being an all volunteer force as opposed to a draft force and things like that, there's a lot of these things that are being overlooked. They're being overlooked by the Veterans Administration, and a lot of these veterans organizations are catering to, let's face it, our generation isn't loaded. They're not retiring from jobs. You have Korean War vets and the last of the World War II vets are.
You heard that too?
Yeah, I did.
It's weird.
Like,
It's the ghost of the studio.
did Kristen open and close the bedroom door? Maybe.
Possibly, but
Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of shit, and so if I can start weaseling my way into some of that shit and maybe do some good, then cool. I'd rather spend my time doing something like that than something frivolous.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to say that I'm the kind of personality that could just sit on my fucking nuts and not do anything, but that's unreasonable.
yeah.
At least under my current state. Hi, guys.
I need to. I'm gonna put this money in my wallet right now, so I have it on Thursday.
Right.
But I'm going to make a little thing.
You have the most George Costanza wallet ever.
Kristen was just talking about that today.
Jesus.
She's like, "Has Dave seen your wallet?" I'm like, "I'm sure he has."
Listen, that's going to give you back problems, right? It does. It is a scientific fact.
I don't buy it.
Well, you should, because when your fucking sciatic nerve starts getting pinched because you have a giant file cabinet in your fucking ass, and you're not sitting properly, then yeah.
This is wrong. I should be in school.
Is Phasma... Does it have to be this big?
That's what she said.
You wish.
Oh, come on.
Aw. Is that art or just art that's happening over there?
Art.
Okay. It's in the eye of the beholder. People pay all of the monies to buy a fucking banana duct tape to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that shit with the fucking dude that eats the banana off the fucking wall and gets thrown out of the place? That had to be a scam.
Yeah. I think it... I can't remember what that was all about, but I saw somebody referencing it because it's like millionaires, they like do that.
Yeah.
Like to get a tax write-off.
Exactly. So Scott's... That fucking... So I'm at a lodge event that started at 1:30, right? So I really didn't get to watch the Eagles game properly. Excuse me. I was watching it on my phone in the middle of the event. So I couldn't curse and throw things properly. But I will say this. The fucking... I put it out on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, PhillyDave75. That's where I do most of my Eagles ranting. Just because reasons. I feel like that's the best way to get out to like where to somebody might grab and fucking retweet or whatever. But fucking Schwartz needs to go.
Yeah,
he needs to go. They shouldn't let him on the fucking bus to go to the goddamn airport. Pack your shit. Don't come back to fucking Philly. Sure as shit don't be here for the fucking Cowboys game. Mm-hmm. And take your ass on. Because the Cowboys, what they did today, if the Cowboys do what they did, look at that fucking wallet. Jesus Christ. If the Cowboys do today, what they could very easily do that to the fucking Eagles next week. And I think I saw something that they ran for over 200 fucking yards. Like, our defense is absolute hot garbage.
Yeah.
It is. There's no fucking secondary.
They made Adrian Peterson look like 10 years younger.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
We're finishing up the show right now. We're not taping. We're doing. No. I'm doing a podcast, not at Lodge. Let me call you back in a little bit. Love you. Bye. Yeah, Scott saw it on Twitter. It's fucking Schwartz. He's got to fucking go. The Eagles won another game that they didn't deserve to. And it's not on. It's all these fuckers that it's Carson Wentz, blah blah blah. Fuck you. It's not Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz doesn't allow another team to fucking score. The first play from scrimmage for the Redskins was a 75-yard fucking underneath slant.
I saw that.
When Rodney McLeod fucking whiffed on a tackle, dude's gone. First play of the fucking game. You know what you do when you're playing a fucking football game? You don't let them score like that on the first fucking play. You do 2 deep safeties, you do fucking like a 4-2, or you do something that's going to prevent a big play. You don't want to give somebody momentum at home, even though it was mostly fucking Eagles there.
Yeah.
Eagles fans there, as attested to by my friends that went to the game in DC. But you don't fucking give up a play like that. You fucking learn how to goddamn tackle. You, like you said, you made Adrian Peterson look like he's fucking 15 years younger, which what the fuck? On our vaulted fucking run defense. Jim Schwartz has spent the last 3 fucking years getting lucky. Your luck's run out, dude. Your fucking luck's run out.
Yeah.
People have got your shit pegged. You have absolute hot garbage in your fucking secondary. The only person that's worth the shit is Malcolm Jenkins, and you're forcing him to make bad decisions because he's making all the fucking plays.
Yeah.
You got second and third string fucking linebackers that are making way more tackles than they're supposed to, and you got Fletcher Cox running 15 yards to track down a fucking guy so he can get tackled. Fired. Absolutely. You don't finish the fucking season. I don't care if you're going to the playoffs or not. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Because he's not good. He's not good. He doesn't have these defenses prepared to fucking compete in the NFL. And you can't put this fucking the closest to this game or the last game on fucking Carson Wentz. You just can't do it. Did he make mistakes? Of course he did. Of course he did.
Yeah.
I can't fucking clear him of all absolution. However, when your defense is letting up all those run yards by fucking Adrian goddamn 34-year-old Pearson and fucking Dwayne Haskins? When I'm scared of fucking some guy named McLaren to fucking run a slant for fucking 75 yards, I'm supposed to be worried about that? No. If I give up a slant play, all right, it gets 12 yards, and that was a good play, gets a first down. That's a first down play. That's not a touchdown play. Mm-hmm. You fucking crackheads. Like,
they're crackheads now.
Dude, fucking Schwartz, he's got to go. He's got to fucking go. I can't. I can't even. I'm glad I was at fucking Lodge because I would have broke some shit today.
Yeah. To
be losing to the fucking Redskins at any point in that game. To have to come back in yet another game. And it's going to come down to us versus the fucking Cowboys. If the Cowboys won their game. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
And to answer Scott in the chat. Thank you, Scott. And we love you too.
Thanks, Scott. Football is so aggravating for me right now. I think I'm at 58 days till pitchers and catchers, something like that. Yeah. 59 days. I'm looking forward to baseball. So, yay, verily.
Yeah, the only good thing for me is that the 49ers clinched a playoff berth today with the Rams' loss. But now they have to win out to win the fucking division. So, yeah.
Look, you're going to get to the playoffs. But, and were you supposed to go to the fucking playoffs this year?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
I think we even talked about this before the season started. I said 8-8 would be a pleasant surprise.
Yes, like not seeing Garoppolo at his best. You know, not really knowing what the defense was until the season started. Mm-hmm. If you went into the season thinking, "Oh, we're going to win the division," they would have fucking sent you in for a drug test because there's no way in the fucking world you're supposed to believe that.
Oh my god! Speaking of which, I don't know if I should even. I'll tell you after we stop recording. Speaking of drug tests, this is a good one.
But yeah, and the Eagles this year. Look, it's Philly. We want to, even if it was the worst fucking team in football, we'd expect them to fucking get to the Super Bowl, especially since now that we have a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Now every season's supposed to be a fucking winning season. Like, I get it. I'm one of those anomalies as an Eagles fan where I actually can keep it fairly realistic.
Right, but I mean, with a recent Super Bowl win, you would think that the expectation is there for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, but with a back, you had a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
Right.
You know, it's not like back in '93 when we fucking won the division, won the NFC conference with Donovan McNabb, and you had free agent signings that fucking helped make that happen.
Yeah.
They should have won that fucking Super Bowl. They should never let Tom Brady have that fucking Super Bowl. But I digress.
Yes. I don't know. Your boy McNabb looked pretty fucking tired by the end of that game.
Look, this is the one thing I will give the Patriots credit for. They are so used to being in that latter stage of the fucking season that they condition for that.
Sure.
So after, for the Eagles, they were winning NFC East, and won the NFC Championship, went to the fucking Super Bowl, and won the division again. But getting deep into the playoffs, you need to have a particular skill set. You need to have a particular conditioning to be able to do that. Belichick has that.
Yeah.
He conditions his guys to play fucking 20 games a season. Straight out the fucking gate.
Yeah.
Whereas other football teams, like the Rams, look at the Rams this year. Huge Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of extra games that you're conditioning for. Your whole conditioning program suffers because you've played deeper into the season, and you're tapering to that end. Your body's at the absolute maximum that it's used to being at.
Yeah.
When you're playing football in fucking February, never in college or anywhere else would these guys ever play that for that long and have to practice and do all the other things. So there is something to be said for that Super Bowl hangover. If you're going straight and all of a sudden you make it beyond the playoffs into the big game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's football. That's part of it. And that's why Patriots have had so much success, because they go into it and they're ready for it. They're ready for success because they've had so much success.
Yeah.
Whereas the Eagles in '93, they Or no, I'm sorry, 93. Fuck. I'm thinking 93 Phillies. And 03.
Yeah.
Going into the 04 Super Bowl. Like getting that point and then the next season trying to like it's a lot of extra for a quarterback that played fucking basketball at Syracuse.
Yeah, and I mean,
It's a lot to ask.
It helps when you're the Patriots too, when you've got the videotapes of your opponent's sideline. And
Indeed,
all that. Yeah,
but
that's...
in fairness, it was the Bengals, so I don't know. It probably hurt them in the long run.
right.
Have they played yet this week?
Yeah, oh yeah, Patriots killed him.
Oh, it's shocking.
Shocker, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Surprising no one.
We got to close this up because I want to try to post this tonight, and
Right.
then
And you got to tell me that story.
oh yeah, and then I got to piss really bad and get to bed because it's almost 8:30. So
Yeah.
all right, thanks Scott and anybody else who's still in the chat. We love you guys. See you very soon.
Peace out, bitches.
Enjoy Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, man. Can't wait.